The 1999 U.S. Open Women's Singles Champion, Serena Williams.
Serena was seeded 7th at the U.S. Open. There, she defeated Monica Seles, the world's number 4, Lindsay Davenport, the world's number 2, and the number 1, Hingis. With the victory, Williams became the second African-American woman since Althea Gibson in 1958 to win a Grand Slam singles tournament. Grand Slam referring to tennis's major annual events. The Williams sisters also won the doubles title at the 99 U.S. Open, their second Grand Slam together. Since then, Serena has won an additional 13 Grand Slams.
This is WJZ-FM, Catonsville, Baltimore's sports talk at 105.7 The Fan, and always live on the free Odyssey app. Weekends on The Fan. Here's Bruce Cunningham and Femi Ayanbadejo.
Everybody, welcome into another edition of the Bruce and Femi Show. Femi's not here today. We'll be back next week. As a matter of fact, I got to repeat this a couple times today because I want you all to know. We're July 4th, we're all off. So what management asked us to do is move our show to this coming Friday. Friday from noon to 3. Bruce and Femi returns after some time off. I took last week off. I came in. And I'm about to have a birthday, and I'm about to turn 68. And at my age, passwords are a tough thing. And whenever I'm off for even a week, I come in and I agonize whether I still remember that password. Luckily, ace engineer Charlie Weller was in here talking to me, and I knew he could save me if I didn't. So we're up and running. Everything's great. With Femi gone today, I've loaded up. We got some great people coming on today. This hour, Rich Dubroff, plenty to talk about with him with the trade deadline coming up. There's all kind of Oriole-related questions there. Coming up at 1:30, my man Kevin Ostreicher, Locked On Ravens, will join us. We'll talk the Ravens as they are just a couple of weeks away from the opening of training camp. In fact, I think it's almost exactly a month. So we'll talk some little preseason Ravens with him. And then in the third hour, and this is what I'm excited about, my pal Mike Hill of Fox Sports. You might remember him from his days at ESPN. He was part of that legendary Sports Center crowd, did the funny commercials and everything. Fox hired him away. He's out on the West Coast, been out there ever since. And he kind of got his start with me as an intern at Fox 45. And I've watched him grow and been just proud as I can be. And as I understand it, I'm going to spring this on him. I understand that he's starting a career, or at least thinking about it, as a stand-up comedian. So maybe we can let Mike do a couple minutes on here, see what you think. Anyway, that's the show today as far as guests go. The number 410-583-1057. I always like to talk to you guys. We always take a lot of calls. So you want to join in, please do. 410-583-1057. Let's start with Trevor Rogers, shall we? That was remarkable last night, and it continues a remarkable June for him. This is according to Rich Dubroff, who'll join us later on BaltimoreBaseball.com. He had a 10.31 earned run average in 4 starts during May. In June, he had 5 starts, and that ERA down to 2.05. Yeah, he's getting it over. Struck out 7, walked 1 last night. 1 run, 5 hits, 6 1/3 last night. Previous start held the Dodgers to 1 hit in 7 innings, scoreless innings at that. So he's really getting it over. Today, Orioles and Nationals yet again, and another pitching bright spot, Brandon Young on the mound for the Orioles. All this is great. And that was a bounce back to feel good win last night, badly needed, because what I saw Wednesday was absolutely brutal. And I say brutal because the FCC won't let us use cuss words on the air. Okay? It's just, if you saw that 9th inning, or 10th inning rather, Orioles had come back after blowing a lead. They had taken a lead. They go into the 10th inning and made 2 of the most sophomoric plays I've ever seen on the major league level. And somehow slink out of there with a loss. I mean, that was a low point. If there's a point in this season that's lower than that, I don't even want to think about it. And I did something I rarely do. I took to social media. But the point I made was a decent high school team makes those plays. But they bounced back last night. Tonight, they'll go, like I said, Brandon Young, reason for optimism there. The pitching hadn't been all that horrible. In fact, it's been pretty good. But they just can't get that offense going. And the centerpiece of that offense was, aside from Pete Alonso, was supposed to be Gunnar Henderson. And the question is, I'm sitting here on June 27th. How long are we supposed to be patient with Gunnar Henderson? Look, I don't want to talk out of school or make you think I'm nuts or something, but the trade deadline's coming up. He's got 2 years of control left on that contract. I'm not saying trade him, but my gosh, it's definitely worth at least considering. Just saying. I know it's a radical thought, and I know a lot of you will agree, and a lot of you will say I'm stupid. And you know what? You're probably both right. But if you look at salary structures and things like that, and I don't know. And then the other wild card in all of this, and that's why I think this trade deadline is going to be very interesting, is because there's a very good possibility we're not going to have baseball next year, or at least on time, because this battle that's coming up, it's going to be like, Masters of the Universe or something. I mean, these lines are drawn. It's like World War I, these trenches have been dug. The owners want a salary cap after all this time. Players are saying, hell no. And that's what it comes down to. So our general manager is going to operate a little differently. I don't know. It's hard to predict what's going to happen. I would suspect that you probably got to go business as usual. But then again, if you're trying to make a trade, or if you make a trade before the deadline, are you comfortable throwing a whole lot of money at somebody when you may not get them next year? And to be precise, it's going to be a lockout. It's not going to be a strike. And a lockout means the players, lockout means you've basically burned a year of that player's contract. Guy got 2 years left. You lock him out next year. He's got 1 year left when he comes back. Keep that equation in your mind, because that's going to be a major factor in all of this. And I don't want to get too deep into the work stoppage thing, but I do think that it's interesting to note that the trade deadline's coming up, and will it affect the way they operate? That might be a good one to bounce off Rich when he joins us at 12:30. What do you think? I'm interested in that, to say the least, because I think it's going to drive a lot of what we see coming up in the coming up on the trade deadline, and then of course into the off season. Now, in general, this team's frustrating. This team is like kind of like a bad marriage. Man, like yesterday, you feel so good. Maybe they'll win 2 or 3 in a row, and man, okay, all right, finally. And then what happened Wednesday happened, and you just, how do you get emotionally invested in a team that's playing this inconsistently, particularly offensively, when this team was supposed to be all about the offense? That's the frustrating part. And it's been a couple of frustrating years around here. Hell, we went into 2025 thinking, you know what, we might have a World Series and a Super Bowl here. And we all know what happened. That one deflated bad. And I don't know, maybe the expectations need to be low. And I'm going to tell you something else. You better watch out how confident you're feeling about the Ravens too. I need to see him hit some people. I need to see that offensive line in action. I got questions I need answered. So it's not like last year when oh man, these Orioles, oh man, I can't wait for the Ravens, and then boom, look out for your mental health. Look out for your mental health. It's going to try your patience, that's for sure. Before we close up the opening monologue, I want to tell you that I did something this week that I've done a couple of times now. I worked the polls on Election Day. I'm retired. I'm not doing a hell of a lot. I let them train me as a provisional voting judge, and I go work the polls. And you get a feeling out of that that's hard to describe. You really feel like you're. I hate to use this phrase. It's so corny, but giving back. I've got time. They need help. And it's fun. And interacting with the voters and messing around with them and laughing. And it was great. It's a 15-hour day. And I'm going to tell you one thing I learned, Aaron. You'll appreciate this. When you go to the polls, you see an awful lot of women workers, okay? There aren't a lot of men workers. When you work the polls and you're a man, okay, you and the other men, it's guaranteed, assumed that you will pack and move all the heavy stuff. Yeah. I got soaked both days. I sweating so bad. But anyway, it's still worth it. And it's not chauvinistic to say that, is it? I don't think so. But we were getting a lot of directions from the women. I'll say that. Do this, watch out. We were getting a lot of this. So they did participate. But in terms of the actual beast of burden stuff, that fell to us. The turnout was light, but it was raining and it was a primary. I hope more of you turn out in the fall. And I don't know why I brought that up, but I just feel real good about that. And just trying to advance the cause of democracy one step at a time. You know me. All right, coming up, we're going to open the phones. I want to talk to you. 410-583-1057. Again, 410-583-1057. Did you see that 10th inning on Wednesday? You want to vent? Here's your chance. Stick around.
Wherever the Orioles season takes you.
Say goodbye to this ball.
Download the free Odyssey app and hear reactions to all the biggest moments. Download it today and search 1057 The Fan.
Is foot pain holding you back? Visit the Good Feet store for a free personalized fitting and test walk.
Meet Sophia, a huge soccer fan. With her Real Unlimited from Total Wireless, she's streaming 3 games, video calling her cousin in Mexico,
and running the quiniela all on my new Samsung Galaxy.
She's practically running the whole tournament from her phone.
Good thing I have Total Wireless.
Switch to Total Wireless Total Max 5G or All Access plans to get on a network that won't put you second. Plus, a Samsung Galaxy on us. Total Wireless, your own Real Unlimited. Offer ends 7/8/2026 or while supplies last. Device taxes and fees may apply.
Look who has extra pep in their step.
Well, I just finished my to-do list. I went to Giant and got groceries for the week, and I was even able to pick up everything for those barbecues and pool parties we have planned. You know what's even better?
What?
I get money back on the entire trip.
How are you doing that?
By using Upside.
Upside? What's that?
It's a free app where I earn cash back on groceries, gas, and dining out. They even gave me a cashback bonus on my first trip to Giant.
So that extra pep comes from all that cash back. Looks like I need to download Upside.
You really do.
Roll into summer with a full grocery cart and extra cash back. Download Upside and use promo code CHARM04 to earn an extra $10 cash back on your first purchase at Giant. That's promo code CHARM04 for an extra $10 cash back. Remember, use promo code CHARM04.
Offers vary by user and location at participating merchants. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions.
BetMGM Sportsbook is giving you the chance to win a prize every day during baseball season. Step into the batter's box for BetMGM Swing for the Fences free-to-play game. Log in every day for your chance to win. Pick an area of the strike zone and take your swing. If you get a hit, you'll receive a prize. Smash a home run to collect a bonus bet. Just log into your BetMGM Sportsbook account and visit your promotion section to access the Swing for the Fences free-to-play game. Swing for the Fences every day with BetMGM. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. For help, visit mdgamblinghelp.org or call 1-800-GAMBLER. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only. Maryland only. Existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Bonus bets expire in 7 days. Please play responsibly in partnership with MGM National Harbor.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/team. That's ZipRecruiter.com/team.
ZipRecruiter. I checked Allstate first and saved hundreds on my car insurance. Really smart. Unfortunately, I didn't check if I took the gas hose out of my car's tank. Ooh, not smart. And I drove off while still attached to pump number 3.
Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds.
Potential savings vary, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate North American Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Weekends on the Fan. Here's Bruce Cunningham and Femi Ayanbadejo.
I'm telling you, St. Paul and the Broken Bones. I ain't even kidding. When was it? May? April? Went down, saw him at the 930 Club. Still buzzing over that show. Yeah, check them out, seriously. Bruce and Femi. Femi's off this week, as we told you a minute ago. We'll be back together next week, and we'll get through this today. 3 hours. Mike Popovic on from 3 to 6. And since we're talking about times, the Oriole game is at 7:05 tonight. And let me explain that to you. They played a lot of 4 o'clock games on Saturday up to this point. That's more of a spring thing. Now that you're into the summer, most of the Saturday night games are going to be 7 p.m. So just keep that in mind. 410-583-1057. My man Tony in Rosedale. What's going on?
Hey, Bruce. How's everything going?
I'm lonely in here, man. I gotten used to the big lug, you know?
He'll be back. Just a little hiatus for a week or so.
Oh, yeah.
I want to talk about a couple of things. I want to talk about the Orioles first before I get to my Ravens comment. Bruce, this is familiar territory the last 2.5 years, because it seems like the Orioles get within that 4 to 3 game of 500 and weird things start happening and they take steps backwards. I hope they can get over the hump. I want to ask you something.
All right.
Because I heard reports of interest in this guy. Would you do this trade, Gunnar Henderson and Dean Kramer, for Byron Buxton?
Man, they need a center fielder real bad. You know, they really do.
It's so speed issue also.
Yeah. I tell you what, I might have to ask for a young arm in return too. You know, I mean that's an awful lot to give up. You know, but Buxton's great. If
Buxton stays healthy, Buxton's an MVP candidate every year. But you got to hope he stays healthy. But I just heard rumors that the Orioles had interest in him, and Gunner's been struggling for 2 years now.
Yeah,
this isn't a slow start.
Well, I know, but a 1-for-1 maybe I could see. I don't think the Orioles have to add a second player if they're trading Gunnar. Do you?
Oh. Probably.
Yeah,
because look what you're getting a guy for the last 2 years who hasn't really produced.
Yeah, but you don't want to overpay. I'm just saying. But
okay. I just threw it out there.
Gunnar, I think his untouchable status though is starting to change a little bit.
Right. Just like you said, how long do you wait? Now.
And you got 2 years of team control. 27 and 28. So go ahead.
All right, I think Buxton has 2 years left on his big contract he had signed with Minnesota, $100 million. I want to talk about the Ravens and their decision to hold a practice down there at College Park.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up.
I like it.
Yeah, I do
like
too.
It. Want me to tell you why?
Mm-hmm. Tell me.
Because when you was still working at Fox, I called you several times and asked you, what in the heck is Fox 45 doing, showing the Commanders, Redskins preseason games and advertising up here in Baltimore?
Yeah.
So we can go down there in their neck of the woods or whatever and promote our team or whatever. It's just.
I hear you, but Tony, there's one main reason why they're doing it. They're still renovating M&T Bank Stadium.
Mm-hmm.
They're probably going to. There's no probably about it. They'll be ready in August when the preseason games start. But that stadium's probably not ready to receive a crowd yet.
So you tell me I'm gonna have to put a hold on my seat to the games this year?
No, you're fine. You're fine. You know, you've seen the renovations they're doing, and they're doing a lot of stuff, and the clock's rolling. You know, so this is kind of the home stretch for them.
Bruce, I may be wimping out with this. Like I said, I don't want to see. Only renovations I want to see is a retractable dome on that.
I know. Let's don't.
We've the place up and all that stuff.
We've had that talk before. Tony, thanks for the call, man. Talk to you soon.
Have a good one.
All right, there he goes. It's Tony Day on the Bruce and Femi Show. Let's go to Tony in Bel Air. What's up, Tony?
Hey, Bruce. Good afternoon. How are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
Doing very well. Orioles, unlike a lot of teams where you don't know what direction to go, I'm almost like Stan Pat. This team's got talent. You know, people are talking about blowing it up or whatever. I don't believe in that. They have got too much young talent. In regards to hitting, if you look at the players that got starting slow, like Alonso and Basayo, what they did was they started hitting to the opposite field and driving the ball to the opposite field. Basayo came out of it in Kansas City.
You know who else? Yeah, you left one out. Kowser's doing it too. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, Kowser. If you look at Kowser's home runs, they're all to center field.
Yes.
And he was definitely trying to pull everything.
Right.
If I was coaching Mayo and Holiday and Henderson during batting practice, I would say do not go to the opposite field 100% of your time. I'll give you your last 5 swings to pull it. Kobe Mayo showed last night. I mean, in the last week, I've seen him actually get 2 hits to right field. I don't know why Alonso doesn't saddle up next to him and say, hey, I'm probably the most prolific number hitter in the game. Look what I do. Right center, analytically, is the easiest part of the ballpark to hit a home run. Kobe Mayo would hit 30 homers if he learned to drive the ball to right center, just like Alonso, just like Malkin will actually learn to do. So I would not give up on those guys. I think if Mayo would learn to hit the ball to right center, he'd be a 270, 30 home run guy, but he wants to pull everything, and I think that's coaching.
He's the only guy in the lineup that can hit left-handed pitching, though.
Yeah. Oh, no. I want. Yeah. I mean, but think about the left-hander. The ball's always breaking into him.
Yeah.
Typically, a ball from a left-hander is not breaking away from him, and from the middle outside is his weakness.
Right.
So, like, if he can learn to stay on the ball and start taking that front foot up the middle, I think he's going to be terrific.
All right, Tony. Appreciate the call. Talk again soon. 410-583-1057. Warren in Owings Mills. Warren, what's going on?
Afternoon, Bruce. Belated happy birthday, man.
Well, early. It's next Friday,
okay.
But thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're a young man. I got you by a year, so I consider myself young. So you're still a young man.
Anybody that's got a 50th high school reunion this summer is not a young man.
Well, I already passed mine for that. But yeah.
All right.
But anyhow, real quick, I want to talk about the Orioles.
Yeah.
The first topic you brought up about the trade deadline. I'm hesitant because, frankly, I don't trust Mike Elias, and I'm wondering, if we start selling off pieces, what he's gonna get for it. But one thing, and I think I brought this up on your show before. I've brought it up several times on Haynie and Vinny because Haynie actually laughs at this. With Gunnar, we, and I say the collective we, the pundits, the fans, we're too quick to label him a superstar. And that word is thrown around too much in sports. There are not dozens of superstars. There's a handful of superstars in any particular sport,
okay.
In any given time. And I went to my first Oriole game in 1964. I was at the 66, 69, 70 World Series. And in Oriole history, the players that I would call superstars are Frank Robinson, Jim Palmer, Eddie Murray, and Cal. Brooks, I love Brooks to death. Brooks was a perennial star. Brooks's offensive numbers were not in the category that you could call him a superstar. Brooks couldn't carry a team like Eddie and Frank Robinson and others could. But I think we got ahead of ourselves with the saying out over our skis.
Warren, let me respond to that. The talent level was so low. And the times were so hard for the Orioles that anybody that had the kind of ability that Gunnar has was going to get, amplified. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm using him just as an example. Gunnar is going to be a long-time, solid major leaguer, maybe a star. He is not a superstar. I look back.
Not yet. No.
Yeah, I pointed this out to Haynie in that because Haynie brought up his rookie season and then the next season, the 24 season. But in that season, he had 25 errors.
Yeah.
Cal Ripken probably took 5 years to get 25 errors. I go back to Louis Aparicio as the Orioles shortstop when I was a kid, Mark Belanger, J.J. Hardy. Those guys would take years to get 25 errors.
Yeah.
So we need to pump our brakes on the superstar talk and overvaluing Gunnar. But, the other reason I don't see us making moves is the American League stinks so badly that everybody's still going to be 2 or 3 games out of the wild card come Labor Day.
Yeah, the Orioles a game and a half out.
Yeah. So people are everybody thinks they're going to still have a chance. So I don't think that, plus the other point you made, the looming lockout, which I'm not a betting man, but I'd be willing to bet that's coming.
Oh, no, that's coming for sure. Hey, I tell you what, Rich Dubroff's up next. We're going to get deep into that with him, so stick around. I got to hit it, Warren. I gave you an extra minute. I'm so late for this break. Thanks, man. Talk to you again. There he goes, Warren and Owings Mills. Stick around. Rich Dubroff up next.
Big Bad Morning Show. Vinny and Haynie. Inside Access. Live on YouTube weekdays 6 till 6. Subscribe for daily shorts right to your phone and never miss what you missed. 105.7 The Fan.
This weekend only at Old Navy, get 50% off all activewear for the family. Yep, half off all activewear for the fam. Hurry in this Saturday and Sunday to save big only at Old Navy. Ballots 6/27 and 28 excludes clearance, license, and maternity.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9834. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9834. That's 800-575-9834. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
For 250 years, America has been more than a place. It's been a promise, a story of courage, hope, and dreams. And through it all, local TV and radio broadcasters have been there, telling the story of America, bringing truth to light. Broadcasters tell the story of who we are and who we aspire to be. We are America's storytellers. We are broadcasters. This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
This golf season, get fit for clubs with Baltimore County Golf and start improving your game. Plus, Baltimore County Golf gives you more golf with your golf purchase than other retailers. More range credits to practice with your new clubs. More rounds at Greystone and Woodlands to get out on the course. More money back to Advantage cardholders to spend in the golf shop or on lessons with any of our PGA professionals. Visit BaltimoreGolfing.com/getfit to make an appointment and get more golf for your club purchase this season. Get fit and get more with Baltimore County Golf.
Download to see if you qualify. Not all customers will qualify. Transfer fees may apply. No Albert subscription required. Albert is not a bank. Albert Instant Loans are issued by FinWise Bank, member FDIC. Not an actual client. Terms apply.
Kylie, what's wrong? I just got hit with a car repair bill. I'm behind on rent, and I feel like I can never save any money.
Have you tried the Albert app? Albert is your financial assistant, helping you find ways to save and create custom budgets to actually grow your money. Plus, you can get up to $10,000 for big expenses or advance up to $1,000 fast when you need cash right away.
Albert can get me up to $10,000?
Exactly. Albert spots you in a pinch and helps you grow your money in the long run.
I'm downloading Albert right now.
Download the Albert app and use promo code GO to borrow up to $10,000 for whatever you need. The Albert app helps you budget better and save more money so you reach your financial goals faster. Download the Albert app right now and use promo code GO to borrow up to $10,000. Use code GO to borrow up to $10,000.
Weekends on the Fan. Here's Bruce Cunningham and Femi Ayanbadejo.
Welcome back. Bruce and Femi show. Femi's off this week. He'll be back next week 410-583-1057 is the number. Joining us now from BaltimoreBaseball.com, our pal Rich Dubroff. Rich, how you doing?
I'm great, Bruce. How are you?
I'm doing good. You know, there's a whole lot of things I want to talk to you about today, but let's start with Trevor Rogers last night. I read your piece this morning, as I usually do, and I had no idea he's had a June that he's had the numbers. I mean, the ERA is just over 2. He's been remarkable, hadn't he?
All right, you are, Bruce. I mean, he's close to what he did last year. Last year's 1.81 for the whole year, and he started off great. He was, he had 3 really good starts this year. Then he fell down. He got sick. He was on the injured list. And he had a terrible May, but now June seems to have worked wonders for him. So hopefully for the Orioles in the second half of the season, he'll be just as good as he's been this month.
What did he say about this last night? I'm sure that, when people ask him about his month, was there any one thing he could point to?
Well, the fastball is much faster.
Right.
It's been, that's been better. He's been throwing, a lot of first pitch strikes. So I think those seem to be the keys.
Another good pitching story for the Orioles is on the mound tonight, Brandon Young. I mean, this kid, Femi loves to talk about him, so I'm not going to beat you over the head with it.
I didn't know.
I don't know what's going on there, but he's getting it over too. I mean, this kid can really he can really throw right now.
Yeah, it's been quite a great surprise. He has won, and I'll say it since Femi's not here. The Orioles are 10-2. In the starts that Young's made, and his ERA is the lowest on the staff. So he's just been a great surprise for them, and it'll be interesting because he's going against a guy with a really good record, Foster Griffin.
Yeah.
Who I don't believe I've seen pitch. He has not pitched. He didn't pitch in the major leagues in the last 3 years. He was in Japan, and before that, he was just scuffling around the majors. So I don't believe that I've seen him before, and I'm intrigued. So it should be a good matchup tonight.
Yeah, 7:05 too, Rich. As you pointed out to me, those 4:00 starts are pretty much by the boards for this season, right? On Saturdays.
Yeah, I think there's one in September.
Okay,
but part of it is the Fox thing. Because if Fox has a game at 7,
right,
they don't want local telecasts interfering with that. So now I think we're back to 7. I think we're back to 7:05 for the rest of the year. Except for that one game in September on a Saturday.
Rich, you can believe Fox paid for exclusivity on Saturdays. I promise you that. Okay, this schedule coming up. 2 more with the Nationals. Then you got the White Sox, the Reds, the Cubs, Kansas City. This could be a lot worse for a team that's trying to get right.
Right, you are, Bruce. But it's important that they really have to start going on a streak.
Right.
We keep saying that, and it's like every week they're sort of treading water. Well, they're anywhere between 3 and 6 games below 500, but they've got to make a move, and this is a really good time. If they can somehow go 10-5 on this streak, then they'd hit the All-Star break 1 game under 500, and looking a lot better. So this is sort of the time that they have to do well. If they don't do well, then big decisions are going to have to be made.
Yeah.
Well, big decisions are going to be made anyway, but there'll be decisions that the team and the fans may not be happy with. So I think that these couple of weeks are going to be very important for how this team approaches the trade deadline on August 3rd.
Wednesday, 10th inning. You've covered this team. Well, we've covered this team for probably a combined 60 years, maybe more than that. I don't think I've ever seen 2 more inept plays to cost a team a ball game in 1 inning. How about you?
That was pretty bad. The first one was worse.
Yes, by far. Yes,
it was preventable in so many ways. I assumed, oh, game's over. And I mean, Jeremiah Jackson probably didn't do a great job by just underhand toss to first. Aiken didn't do a great job of getting there quickly. And I think most important, Alonso didn't do a good job in getting there.
Yeah.
He shouldn't have been playing, he shouldn't, it was Jeremiah Jackson's ball. Alonso should have been on first base. If Alonso's on first base, then game over.
Right.
And then, then there was the ball that got kicked and goes inadvertently into right field. And the second play, well, I don't think, he may not have gotten the runner out at first, but he probably should have tried that instead of what he did. But of course, if the first play doesn't happen, the second play, we don't see the second play. So I think the first play is much more important than the.
I agree.
Than the second one.
It was tough. I got up.
It was terrible.
I walked out of the room. I just didn't want to watch sports again for a couple minutes at least. It was talk about getting your heart torn out. All right, we're almost to July. July 1st, I believe, is this coming Wednesday, and that means you're going to hear an awful lot of talk about the trade deadline, and there has been traffic on BaltimoreBaseball.com about that. Buyers or sellers, I think that question's a little bit too easy. I mean, do the Orioles come out of that trade deadline looking the same they do now?
No. No matter what, they're not. No matter what, they're not going to.
Okay.
As long as this team doesn't implode, as long as they're within a few games of 500, I think that they're going to be very, very aggressive in trying to add to the team, because they played for 2026 a year ago.
Yeah.
They don't want to be playing for 2027 now unless there is no choice. And they don't have a lot of great assets to sell. I mean, they do in Trevor Rogers and maybe Taylor Ward, but I think they'd like to try and take a shot at getting to the postseason and see what happens. Because it's, first of all, I don't think the fans. I know the fans are not going to stand for another rebuild. So
right.
That's not happening, and I don't know what this ownership thinks of that. But I think that they will be aggressive in trying to improve the team. There are certain areas that they need. I think a better right-handed hitting outfielder. They need some. I think obviously some supplements to the bullpen, because I don't think you can go through the year with the bullpen just the way it is.
Yeah.
And if there's a better starter, then maybe. But I think for one time, starting pitching isn't the one thing they're looking at. But I think that they probably will be a combination of buying and selling.
Okay.
So I think Mike Elias likes to be very creative, and I think that's what it's going to be. But still, we got a lot of time.
We do. It's the talk is just
like 4 more shows. We got about 4 more. I mean, there are 4 more shows.
Yeah.
To ask me about this.
Yeah.
I guess.
Well, don't give me too big a piece of your mind, because we'll be needing it later. See that?
Yeah. No. And also things change week to week.
Sure, they do.
Even though it seems the standings haven't really changed for the last month or so.
Oh gosh, don't give me. One other thing I wanted to make sure we talked about today: this pending lockout. With the trade deadline coming up, do you anticipate GMs approaching the trade deadline differently this year, given the fact that there could be a lockout?
Yeah, they may, but I think the object of the game, as Al McGuire liked to say, the object of the game is to win.
Yeah.
And you don't want to be too cute. You want to win now. You do want to win now. So I think that people are going to be very, as aggressive as they were. I mean, Tarek Skubal could be available, and I think teams will, certainly go after him. But for players who maybe, if they're in the market for players who are going to be free agents after next year, maybe the market is a little cool. But I think for the things that the Orioles want, relief pitching and right-handed hitting outfielders, there's not a great market for those.
No.
So I think that Elias is going to be, is going to be aggressive and not. And we don't know what the lockout means.
Right.
The last time they had a lockout, they played a 162-game season. They just chopped 3 weeks off spring training.
Right.
So we don't know. A lockout could be, if they have one, could be a month, could be 2 months. I don't think so. I think it's going to be. I really think it's going to be minimal because there's too much at stake here.
Well, the battle lines were drawn early in this thing, which gave them plenty of time to try to meet somewhere in the middle, and that's probably the way this thing's going to work out, right?
Right, but it's going to be 9 months from now until it's worked out. Don't pay too much attention now because this is just the warm ups. They just want to throw everything at each other, and then somewhere they'll come to an agreement. It's going to be ugly. Yeah, it's going to be ugly. It's not going to be fun for fans because fans, understandably, want to talk about what's going on the field, not off the field, and they want to, and it's going to get in the way of the free agent market. When we talk in the fall, and you ask me about the free agent market, well, that's going to be the real. That's going to be that's going to be a real change to see what how it goes. But that's months from now, and I think that's the more important strategy than the trade deadline right now, vis-a-vis the lockout.
Great point. All right, Rich, thanks for your time, as always. I'm going to call you later in the week, but we are on Friday from noon to 3 this week.
Wow.
Yeah.
Not Saturday?
Not Saturday. We're swapping Friday for Saturday.
Okay, well, I'll be there.
I'll reach out. We'll figure it out. I just want to...
Actually, I won't be in Cincinnati. So.
Okay.
We'll make it work.
You know what, Rich? I've been to Cincinnati, and if you won't be in Cincinnati, believe me, that's a plus.
I know. I've been to Cincinnati myself.
All right, Rich. Thanks. We'll talk this Friday then. All right. Thanks.
Okay, my pleasure. Thank you, Bruce.
I tell you what, Cincinnati. If you're from Cincinnati, I'm not trying to offend you, but I'm probably going to. It's kind of a nothing town, and I'm going to tell you something else. When I was broadcasting Ravens games, we broadcast some cold weather games. And then in the Canadian Football League, I broadcast some cold weather games. The coldest I ever been, 1996 Riverfront Stadium in Cincinnati. It was the last game of the season, so it was early January. The cold coming up out of that concrete was so bad that we had to go find cardboard to stand on. It was brutal. But if you're from Cincinnati, it's a lovely town. My former colleague, Morgan Adsit, grew up a Reds fan. She's not from Cincinnati, and she would be happy to tell you that. 410-583-1057. We're opening the phones again next segment. I'd love to talk to you. 410-583-1057.
This is the Fan, baby. Big Bad Morning Show. Vinny and Haynie. Inside Access. Live on YouTube weekdays 6 till 6. Search Baltimore 1057 The Fan. Subscribe for daily shorts right to your phone and never miss what you missed. The Fan.
Fireworks Now at 3205 Carlisle Pike in New Oxford, PA is the place to make your 4th of July the best it can be. At Fireworks Now, over 80% of everything we sell is priced as buy one, get two free. And you can mix and match your selections. It's simple. You get the best deal because Fireworks Now has the best deal. And our facility is so large, you'll never have to wait in line to get in. So remember, the best fireworks deal is less than an hour away at 3205 Carlisle Pike, New Oxford, PA.
Popeye's $20 family meal is so good to your people and your budget. This Bold Louisiana feast has, count them, 11 hand-breaded tenders or 9 pieces of our Shatter Crunch signature chicken. Then we're looking at a large side and 4 biscuits. And did I mention it's all for $20? It's time to gather your crew and make them all happy. Order for your whole fam today.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
At participating U.S. restaurants, price may vary, tax extra.
Better sleep
sleep is worth celebrating. The 4th of July mattress sale is on now at Raymore Flanigan. Save up to $600 on Beauty Rest Black and $500 on Tempur-Pedic Breeze. With select purchases, choose a free $300 gift card or $200 MasterCard reward card. Plus, combine select mattress sale pricing with special financing for 72 months and enjoy free next day mattress delivery on purchases of $500 or more. Don't miss 4th of July mattress deals at Raymore and Flanigan, now open in White Marsh.
Look who has extra pep in their step.
Well, I just finished my to-do list. I went to Giant and got groceries for the week, and I was even able to pick up everything for those barbecues and pool parties we have planned. You know what's even better?
What?
I get money back on the entire trip.
How are you doing that?
By using Upside.
Upside? What's that?
It's a free app where I earn cash back on groceries, gas, and dining out. They even gave me a cashback bonus on my first trip to Giant.
So that extra pep comes from all that cash back. Looks like I need to download Upside.
You really do.
Roll into summer with a full grocery cart and extra cash back. Download Upside and use promo code CHARM04 to earn an extra $10 cash back on your first purchase at Giant. That's promo code CHARM04 for an extra $10 cash back. Remember, use promo code CHARM04.
Offers vary by user and location at participating merchants. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions.
Fresh paint inside, fresh flowers outside. Summer at your house is looking good. During July 4th deals at Lowe's, buy one, get one free. Select interior paint via mail-in rebate. Plus, get 2 1.5-gallon red, white, and blue annual hanging baskets for just $15. Our best lineup is here at Lowe's. Valid through 7/8. Selection varies by location while supplies last. See store at Lowe's.com for details and requirements. Excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
Straight Talk Wireless presents Pickup Truck Wisdom.
If you're only good to your new friends, you're not going to have any old ones. Straight Talk gets it. That's why new and existing customers get free 5G phones on Verizon's 5G network. Pretty simple, really. You keep good people by being good people.
Find us at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Straight Talk Wireless. Straightforward. Always. Taxes and fees apply. Plan purchase required for free phone offers. Copyright 2026 Verizon.
Download to see if you qualify. Not all customers will qualify. Transfer fees may apply. No Albert subscription required. Albert is not a bank. Albert Instant Loans are issued by FinWise Bank, member FDIC. Not an actual client. Terms apply.
Kylie, what's wrong? I just got hit with a car repair bill. I'm behind on rent, and I feel like I can never save any money.
Have you tried the Albert app? Albert is your financial assistant, helping you find ways to save and create custom budgets to actually grow your money. Plus, you can get up to $10,000 for big expenses, or advance up to $1,000 fast when you need cash right away.
Albert can get me up to $10,000?
Exactly. Albert spots you in a pinch and helps you grow your money in the long run.
I'm downloading Albert right now.
Download the Albert app and use promo code GO to borrow up to $10,000 for whatever you need. The Albert app helps you budget better and save more money so you reach your financial goals faster. Download the Albert app right now and use promo code GO to borrow up to $10,000. Use code GO to borrow up to $10,000.
Weekends on the Fan. Here's Bruce Cunningham and Femi Ayanbadejo.
River running free, you know how I feel. Blossom on the tree, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me, and I'm feeling good.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Erin snuck that one in on me. She asked me during the break, you ever heard of Nina Simone? I said, yeah, I've heard of Nina. That was really good. I appreciate that. Before the break, I had mentioned that training camp is a month away, and I had no idea how accurate I was. Today's the 27th, right? The rookies report July 26th, and then the veterans are on the field the 28th. And the first preseason game, August 15th, Saturday night, they're hosting the Eagles, in case you're scoring at home. And I know a lot of you do. 410-583-1057. Orioles and Nats again tonight, 7:05. And let me repeat something we said earlier. The 4 o'clock starts on Saturday are going away now. And I think there's one more in September, as Rich said. So, keep that in mind. Also, World Cup. Have you been watching that? I have. I'm not. I wouldn't call myself a soccer fan. I really wouldn't. But occasionally I'll get into like the women's team several years ago, and I appreciate the game, and I think to really love soccer, you've got to appreciate defense, because I can't think of another sport where defense is more important than it is in soccer. And I love watching these guys play. The U.S. is in action again in the knockout round on Wednesday. That's July 1st. They're going to take on Bosnia-Herzegovina at 8 p.m. So that'll be the next time the U.S. takes the field. They let me down against Turkey a little bit. I kind of expected more. But, they're moving on, and that's all that matters. That's the great thing about the World Cup. You can lose a game early and you're not out, so let's hope. Also, Antonio Freeman, the pride of Poly, the wide receiver. His son is a major factor on that team, which also makes it fun to watch, because Buttons, as they call him in the streets of Baltimore, a good dude. I'm glad to see his son doing so well. 410-583-1057. Let's go to Mike in lovely Pasadena. Mike, what's going on?
How are you this morning, or actually this afternoon, Bruce?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
It's a little humid out here in Pasadena today.
It sure is.
Okay. Questions about our former football team and our current football team.
Yeah.
Starting with the Colts.
Mm-hmm.
Lenny Moore.
Yeah.
Is he still with us?
He is.
But I really haven't heard too much about him for a long time.
Well, he's I think he's 92 now, and he probably doesn't get around much. I saw him at Tom Maddie's funeral a couple of years ago, and he looked great.
Okay. So he is hopefully doing well then. He was one of my favorite players.
How could he not be? What a player.
Oh, gosh. Number 24, watching him run down the sideline.
Let me give you a fact about Lenny some more that's going to stun you. This year, this month, or next July, he will have been in the Pro Football Hall of Fame for 51 years.
Oh, my gosh.
How about that? 1975.
That is amazing. Boy, those years do fly by, don't they?
They do.
Oh. Now, a question about the current football team.
All right.
The Ravens have announced a new broadcaster.
Yeah.
Kyle Yeomans, I believe is his name.
Yeah.
What, if anything, do you know about him?
I don't know anything. I don't know. But I do know this, that those jobs are as rare as hen's teeth. And I'm sure they saw high-level guys from every corner of the country. The interesting thing, I was talking about this with Scott Garceau at Jerry Sandusky's going-away party. When the Browns moved here, there were like 3 or 4, maybe even 5 of us that could do those games right away. But if you look at the current, there wasn't anybody obvious local. So I think they were forced to go outside the area,
Well, wasn't it Scott who did the games first?
Scott and Tom and me.
Yes.
But see, that's what I'm saying. We had multiple guys at that time that could do it, and we just don't now, at least locally.
Yeah. Somebody I heard earlier this week, the guy that does the Orioles, Brett Hollander, you mentioned his name.
Brett used to work here.
Oh, he did?
Oh,
I did not know that.
Sure.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, and one more thing about the WNBA. I don't know if you've been following this with Caitlin Clark.
Yeah.
What are these players up to? Are they trying to ruin their league?
Well, let me tell you what's going on. Larry Bird was a great player, right? But everybody that knows anything about the NBA will tell you that Larry Bird was the greatest S-talker in NBA history.
Okay.
Caitlin Clark suffers from the same disease.
Oh, she does.
She talks a lot of smack, and she gets people mad at her. And what you saw this week, I guarantee you, is because of something she said to somebody.
Yeah, I saw the play.
Yeah.
And I saw the other girl put her fist on her throat.
Yeah, it was pretty savage. It was.
And was not even called a foul at the time.
Yeah.
They had to review it to find out that it was indeed a foul.
You don't have to be a basketball expert to know that choking a girl is got to be a foul.
I would certainly hope so. And talking about the World Cup, yes, I surely am into that. My 2 grandsons are big soccer players.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they know the players the way I used to know baseball players when I collected baseball cards back in the 50s. Mm-hmm. So they do know the players.
And their dads and moms are the ones that brought it into this country. And I tell you what, I read something that said that there was a video game in the early 2000s that got really popular, and that is what lit the soccer fire in this country.
Oh, wow. Well, it's been very entertaining. I didn't know any of these players named like Mbappe, but I sure do know them now.
That's for sure. All right, thanks for the call, Mike. Appreciate it.
Always a pleasure.
Pleasure's mine. Let's go to William in Baltimore. William, what's going on?
Bruce, thanks so much for taking my call.
Sure thing.
I'm not going to hold you, dog. I did call for something else, but I got to address this. You had a caller called today and spoke about Brooks Robinson. He wasn't a super player or whatever.
Yeah.
I want to say something. I got to say this. I know you don't get into it, but I got to say this. Brooks Robinson was a first-time Hall of Famer.
Absolutely.
He went into out of not just during his time, but through the history of baseball. He's in the top 5 third basemen of all time.
William, let me jump in. I didn't. He was on a roll, and I didn't want to interrupt him. But anybody, I mean, obviously, Brooks Robinson is a superstar, and he blamed it. He based it on Brooks's offensive numbers. If you're just going to look at Brooks's offensive numbers, then you ain't seen Brooks play, have you, William?
Yeah, they called him the vacuum cleaner.
Yeah.
But let me. But something even bigger than that goes unnoticed, Bruce, is that it was when Frank Robinson came to town. It was during very civil rights time.
Definitely.
Back in '66.
Yes.
Brooks Robinson. You know what Brooks did? Brooks put his arm around Frank Robinson's shoulder and said, "He's my brother," and that paved the way for that clubhouse, for Frank to be comfortable in there and Frank to have the kind of season that he had. Brooks Robinson is not only a superstar Hall of Famer between the lines, but also outside the lines.
You're right about that, and I'm going to tell you something, William. Any of us who know him will tell you that, and anyone who's ever even met him will tell you that. He's one of the best people ever. And let me tell you this quick story, and then we got to hit a break. You remember the writer wrote that in Baltimore we name our sons after him? You remember that line that was written?
Right.
And I repeated that to Brooks, and you know what he jumped in with? He says, "Yeah, and a lot of dogs too." That tells you all you need to know about the man, doesn't it?
Thanks, Bruce, for taking my call.
All right, William. Glad you called. Appreciate that. All right, hour number 2 coming up, and we still got a full bank, so we're going to stick with these calls for right now. And I got a couple spots left if you want to jump in, too. 410-583-1057. All of a sudden, we got a bunch. Keep it going. 410-583-1057. Hour number 2 coming up with Kevin Ostreicher.
If you're thinking about it
every day,
we're talking about it.
That's what I'm talking about.
105.7 The Fan.
Now that Wendy's has these new biggie deals, everyone in the family can get what they're craving, from nugs to JBCs. The parental units can get an $8 biggie bundle, the eldest who think they're so grown can get a $6 biggie bag, and the little one who can do no wrong can get a $4 biggie bites. You know, assuming they have a credit card. No, I'm kidding. We take cash too. 4, 6, and $8 biggie deals for the whole family. Only at Wendy's.
Price and participation may vary. Single items at regular price. Prices may be higher in Alaska, California, and Hawaii.
You just testified under oath you're getting more fiber in your diet, and it was easy. Where is this additional fiber coming from?
Mira Fiber Gummies.
Objection!
It's true. Mira Fiber has 8 grams of fiber to help me get the fiber I need in a day, plus 4 B vitamins for metabolism support. All in one serving.
Overruled.
My gut rests its case.
Oh, that's my line.
Find Mira Fiber today at your local retailer from the makers of Miralax. Mira Fiber supports metabolism of carbs, fats, and proteins. Serving size is 4 gummies.
Meet Sophia, a huge soccer fan. With her Real Unlimited from Total Wireless, she's streaming 3 games, video calling her cousin in Mexico,
and running the Quiniela all on my new Samsung Galaxy.
She's practically running the whole tournament from her phone.
Good thing I have Total Wireless.
Switch to Total Wireless Total Max 5G or All Access plans to get on a network that won't put you second. Plus, a Samsung Galaxy on us. Total Wireless, your own Real Unlimited. Offer ends 7/8/2026 or while supplies last. Device taxes and fees may apply.
BetMGM Sportsbook is giving you the chance to win a prize every day during baseball season. Step into the batter's box for BetMGM Swing for the Fences free-to-play game. Log in every day for your chance to win. Pick an area of the strike zone and take your swing. If you get a hit, you'll receive a prize. Smash a home run to collect a bonus bet. Just log into your BetMGM Sportsbook account and visit your promotion section to access the Swing for the Fences free-to-play game. Swing for the Fences every day with BetMGM. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. For help, visit mdgamblinghelp.org or call 1-800-GAMBLER. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only. Maryland only. Existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Bonus bets expire in 7 days. Please play responsibly in partnership with MGM National Harbor.
Attention. Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers, so don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-358-6868. That's 800-358-6868. Again, 800-358-6868.
This is WJZ-FM, Catonsville, Baltimore's sports talk at 105.7 The Fan, and always live on the free Odyssey app. Weekends on The Fan. Here's Bruce Cunningham and Femi Ayanbadejo.
Oh, yeah. Welcome back. Hour number 2 at a mighty OJ's. I've told you many times on this show, you know, with the Hall of Fame induction coming up next month, or I could almost say this month, it's the 27th. It's in Canton, Ohio. And if you've been up there, the Hall of Fame, and then there's a stadium, and on the other side of the stadium, there's a high school. That's the high school, McKinley High School, that the OJs went to, which every time I go up there, I'm hearing OJ songs the whole weekend, you know, while we're there. And my pet peeve about Hall of Fames, it's Halls of Fame. My pet peeve, I've covered them in Cooperstown more than once, and I have covered them in Canton more than once. And here's my problem. They're both in July, which is the hottest damn month imaginable. I have sat out there and broiled in the sun, absolutely broiled. And it's as impossible as anything can be. And then I've told this before too, but it bears repeating. When Ray Lewis went in, they saved him wisely for last, because there wasn't going to be a whole lot of time left when Ray got done. So I've got a live shot for Fox 45 News at 10 o'clock. And that ain't like 10, 15 seconds. 10 o'clock, I got to be ready. Ray hits the stage at 9:40. The first 8 to 10 minutes, you know Ray's going to preach, okay? And preach he did, and cried, and he finally got into a little bit of football, and by that time it's like 9:57, and I don't know what to do. So I call the sports office, get Morgan and my producer. What are we going to do? Morgan found 9 seconds. He found a 9-second soundbite that we can go with this. Thank you. And then it gave us more time to regroup and figure it out. But if you've ever been under pressure in your life, imagine having a live shot at 10 o'clock and Ray don't go on until 9:40. Yeah, that was tough. But it's the things you go through that strengthen you. Steel or iron sharpens iron. Isn't that the saying? Yeah, I think it is. 410-583-1057. Orioles tonight, Nats 7:05. The 4:05 starts are history, at least until September. So 7:05 tonight. Brandon Young, who's been a really, I would say, one of the biggest surprises on the Orioles this year. Either him or Blaze Alexander. But Brandon Young going, he's 6-2 record. Yeah, the Orioles are 10-2 in games that he's pitched, as Femi likes to point out. Foster Griffin going for the Nats, and Nats have a nice young team. They can score runs, but man, they got to have pitching. That's hard to watch. Let's go to Steve in Edgewater. Steve, what's going on?
Hey, Bruce. Nice to talk to you. It's been a while.
Yeah.
The guy that said the Brooks was the vacuum, I believe it was the human vacuum cleaner.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's funny when I take him and Palmer. I believe Brooks only had 268 home runs in his career, but of course the defense made up for that.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, didn't Palmer have about the same wins? Three Cy Youngs and only, that's, I got to give him credit for that.
Yeah. Yeah. The most amazing thing about Palmer is his rookie year in the deciding game 4 of the World Series. He beat Sandy Koufax in Koufax's last start, and I think Palmer was just barely 20 years old.
Koufax is one of my favorites.
Yeah.
I'm 63, and
You're just a
that
kid.
World Series, and but on a different note, before I let you go, my wife, who works in Davidsonville at Homestead Gardens, there was a guy, the Iron Man, was in line regular checking out. Since she's the manager at Homestead Gardens in Davidsonville, she brought Mr. Ripken over and let him check out, in his, where he should in customer service. So that was nice. But he's a big charity guy for Homestead Gardens
That's good.
and he lives in Annapolis. So that was nice.
Well, he does. His wife is a judge down there.
I know.
Judge,
it's funny. Well, you're in Anne Arundel County like me. You know the DA, Ann Colt Leadus.
Yeah.
I went to high school with her, so that's how I get out of jury duty. Yeah.
That's it. Hey, let me ask you something. When you saw Cal in person, he was a lot bigger than you thought he was going to be, isn't he?
Oh, my God.
Yeah, he's a bear.
Oh, my God. And what a nice guy.
He is. Cal's great. All right, Steve, thanks for the call. Great. We appreciate it. 410-583-1057. My man, Roberto. Mike, how you doing, Mike?
Hey, Bruce. How you doing?
I'm all right.
Hey, man, I looked up and I sent you that friend request, I don't know how many years ago, and I never did hear anything.
Mike, let me give you the background on that. Folks, if any of you send me a friend request, I've got about 1,800 pending. I never, ever answer. So I've been trying to get better lately, and I'm clicking, and I see him, so yeah, okay. So I'm sorry.
I looked up and I said, oh, wow, Bruce Hanson. But anyway, hey, Bruce, as far as, let me say this real quick.
Yeah.
About World Cup soccer, I'm sorry. I'm just not a soccer fan.
That's fine.
If I had to choose between watching a soccer match and sitting in front of a wall watching the paint dry, I'd be sitting in front of that wall cheering that paint on. Man.
Cheering it on.
I'm sorry. I can't stand it. But I want to talk about that O's, man.
Yeah.
I'm kind of like, I haven't thrown in the towel, and I'm not a fair weather fan. But they actually have been consistent this year. They've been remarkably inconsistent. As far as one step forward, 2 steps back, you think they turn the corner. So I haven't given up on it as far as, with the American League being so sorry.
Yeah, it's like Rich Dubar. I've said a few minutes ago, all they got to do is get on a little bit of a streak here, you know, and things start rolling downhill a little bit, because the bottom line is they're too good to be this bad.
Exactly. They got talent. I mean, it's not like we got a bunch of bums. But we also playing like the Bad News Bears at times, too. Some of the stuff that, but anyway.
I don't think I'll ever get over that game Thursday night or Thursday afternoon. And if you noticed it, did you watch it? Because if you notice, Palmer goes, no. Palmer goes, no. and then I saw on Facebook somebody posted, you know what? This team's going to make Jim Palmer drop an F-bomb. You watch and see.
It had to be. I thought it had to be really bad. When I saw your comment online, I was like, oh, wow. Bruce is going in. It must have really been.
Extra brutal is what that was. All right, Mike. Thanks for calling, man. Appreciate it. 410-583-1057. Mike in Columbia. What's up, man?
Hey, Bruce.
Hey.
Little NBA. What do you think about this LaMelo Ball to Minnesota?
Well, great player. I don't like his dad very much. I don't know much about Minnesota's salary cap situation and how that's going to fit. And I know this. It gives the other team gets some relief, I don't know that the Hornets are necessarily going anywhere. Losing him's going to hurt, but I think he's going to make Minnesota better,
Well, okay, what about the situation up in Boston with Brown? What do you think about that? Brown is good.
I'm monitoring that thing because the Celtics. people love the Celtics, people hate the Celtics, all right? But the one thing that you can't really argue is that at least recently, the Celtics are very well run. You know, they are. They know what they're doing in the front office. This situation, letting this situation occur, has kind of surprised me a little bit. I thought they were better than that, you know?
Yeah, me too. And the draft, Bruce.
Yeah.
The Spurs drafted 2 big guys.
Yeah.
OKC drafted a big guy and a guard and Oweh's brother.
Yeah.
And
you've spotted a trend.
Yeah.
Everybody's got to get bigger, you know?
And the Knicks, I don't know, Mitchell Robinson might go. Yeah, we haven't spoken since then. And they signed Jose Alvarado to a 3-year contract.
Yeah. And they should have.
Oh, yeah, he played well.
He earned it.
Yes, he did.
All right, Mike, I appreciate hearing from you. See you later.
All right, Bruce,
I will. 410-583-1057. My man Joe in Woodbury. Joe, what's going on?
Well, the price of gas is going down. What do you think about that?
Well, I'm for that. I drive a pickup truck. It's got a 26-gallon tank. I'm getting tired of these $100 fill-ups, you know?
Yeah, because what you getting, like 14 to the gallon, or you got a good truck where you're getting 18?
I'm getting 22, baby.
Woo, you go ahead. But anyway, Bruce, the word is parity. Is there parity in baseball in the American League, or is it just a lot of bad teams?
A lot of bad teams. A lot of bad teams.
A lot of bad teams.
I'm going to tell you why it's not parity, because you got a handful of 4 or 5 pretty good teams in the American League.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then the rest of it kind of drops to the bottom. If it was parity, you know, you wouldn't have those 4 or 5 dominant teams, but you do.
Right. But,
you know.
But I think we are going to see something that we haven't seen before. We're going to see so many teams fighting for a wild card spot.
Oh, yeah.
And they're going to be so close, and it might come down to all the way down to the end of September, unless somebody just start getting hot, going I'm going to say 5-game winning streak, because it seems like nobody can really get that high. You know, Orioles can't get a winning streak. They can only win 3 games in a row. And then the only other thing I'm going to talk about to you is that as far as playoffs concerned, I was telling Vinny and Bob that if and when the NFL goes to 18 games, they need to add another wild card and stop giving a team a bye. Because if you can go all the way back to when it used to be only 3 divisions and 2 wild cards.
Yeah.
And 2 wild cards played it out. So what I'm saying is, you got 32 teams right now. You only got 7 making it in each division. That's a total of 14 out of 32. You need those 2 more games. And like Vinny is saying, well, they'll make more money. The first round won't get one. But like I say, when they get to 18, go ahead and add another wild card so it'll be everybody plays and you get the 2 byes. What do you think about that, Bruce?
That sounds logical. I mean, it's not outrageous. The players' union, of course, would have to sign off on it because, you know, if you want to increase the schedule, it's all up to them, it seems.
But look at this, Bruce. They got them playing on every continent.
Yeah.
I mean, are they in Asia yet?
No.
I'm about to say it. The day they get in Asia and the other area, like over there in let's see, Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
You know, they'll be everywhere because they're in Australia. They're down in South America. They're over in Europe. I mean, they got CFL in Canada, so they're not going to go up there. Football is becoming a global sport.
I'll tell you why, Joe, because the NBA the NFL has watched the NBA with great envy.
Right.
The NBA is world freaking wide, and the NFL wants a piece of that pie. Yes, sir.
Yeah, they play basketball
in every country. In every country. You know, there's very few sports that can say that.
Well, that's only because you need a ball
and a hoop.
It don't even have to be a basketball. It could just be a ball. It could be a bicycle rim. It could be a milk crate.
Yep.
Because I played on milk crate, bicycle rims, anything round.
Hey, Joe, I played some milk crate ball growing up. How about you?
Yeah. Hey, matter of fact, I got 9 milk crates in my house right now.
All right, man. Thanks for the call. Stick around. 410-583-1057. We're going to get more into this. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the Ravens coming up, too, so stick around for that. Kevin Ostreicher comes up at the bottom of the hour. Bruce and Femi continues.
The Big Bad Morning Show. Vinny and Haynie. Inside Access. Live on YouTube weekdays 6 till 6. Subscribe for daily shorts right to your phone and never miss what you missed. 105.7 The Fan.
This weekend only at Old Navy, get 50% off all activewear for the family. Yep, half off all activewear for the fam. Hurry in this Saturday and Sunday to save big only at Old Navy. Ballots 6/27 and 28 excludes clearance, license, and maternity.
Hey, it's Rob Long with Vinny Steele, CEO of Your Home Show Guarantee Realty. Vinny, I really love the story you were just telling me about one of your customers using your Fix It to Sell program.
Yeah, Rob, it's been a game changer. We just helped the Martinez family who needed to sell their mother's home to help fund her retirement, so getting every dollar possible was really important. They had a quote from a contractor planning on doing significant renovations to the home. I was able to cut out parts of the bid that would not yield a good return. We used our own contractors for less than half of the original bid. We managed all the contractors and timelines for a stress-free experience. We're getting ready to close tomorrow for 100% of the list price, which was the highest ever sold in that community.
That is such a great example for everyone wanting to get the most money possible. So, if that's you, call or text my friend Vinny Steele at 410-793-1801. That's 410-793-1801. Or visit VinnySteo.com. That's VinnySteo.com.
Hey, it's Ken Weinman. On the biggest stage in the world, FanDuel is changing the game. Because sometimes your player gets subbed off and your bet goes with them. Not anymore. With FanDuel's Super Sub, if your player is subbed out, your bet stays in. That's right. If your player leaves the match, your bet continues on with the substitute. So you're still in it until the final whistle. Visit FanDuel.com/local to get started now. Again, that's FanDuel.com/local. Let there be goals this summer on FanDuel. FanDuel Sportsbook is the official sportsbook of 105.7 The Fan. 21 plus and present in Maryland. Please play responsibly. For help, visit them at mdgamblinghelp.org or make sure to give them a call at 1-800-GAMBLER. Again, that phone number, 1-800-GAMBLER.
What is your next success story? At University of Maryland Global Campus, you can succeed again with more than 100 affordable online degrees and certificates to help you move your career forward. From cybersecurity and AI to healthcare and MBA, our programs help you build critical thinking, leadership, and communication skills that set you apart in today's job market. Designed for working adults, focused on the future. Classes start soon. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
I checked Allstate first and saved hundreds on my home insurance. Really smart. Unfortunately, I didn't check to see which type of soap I put into the dishwasher. Not so good. Well, it looks like the kids are enjoying their new indoor slip and slide.
Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds.
Not available in every state. Potential savings vary. Terms apply. Allstate Vehicle and Property Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
If you own a business, you've heard it all. From fast funding to easy approvals, everyone says the same thing. LendSeek is different. We show you what you actually qualify for. LendSeek's AI-enabled platform matches you with funding options with no guesswork. Up to $5 million in as fast as 24 hours. If you've been in business over a year, doing at least $50,000 per month, apply for free with zero out-of-pocket costs and access to over 100 lenders. Start ready, stay ready. LendSeek.com. LendSeek.com.
And the match is about to begin.
Most of the team is out with COVID-19, so there'll be some substitutes tonight.
What's this? We have an unexpected guest on the field.
It's a dog, but they could do with extra players.
She's going for the ball.
Are front paws hands or feet?
Soccer season is full of surprises, and COVID-19 could be one of them. If you test positive, prescription medications may help. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Learn more at PfizerForAll.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Weekends on The Fan. Here's Bruce Cunningham and Femi Ayanbadejo.
Just as long as we're together, there is no place or time.
Bruce and Aaron's dance party. Femi's off this week. We will both be back together this coming week, but another programming note. If you've been listening since the outset, I'm sorry for the repetition, but I want to make sure everybody knows. We will not have a show as usual next Saturday. Instead, we will be on this coming Friday from noon to 3. Me and Femi, noon to 3 this Friday. So make sure you're with us. Now, in case you don't know this, Femi, it's a nickname for, his first name is Obafemi. Obafemi Ayomide. So I'm not a big WWE guy by any means, but it's on in the studio here. And you probably know this, especially you younger folks. I didn't know this. There's a wrestler who wrestles under the name Obafemi. So I can't wait to advise Femi of that. He probably already knows. Actually, the wrestler's name is Isaac Odugbisan. That's his real name. But Obafemi is what he wrestles under. And I can't wait to see Femi and tell him that. 410-583-1057 is the number. 410-583-1057. Training camp, the rookies report a month from yesterday. So as these weeks go by this month, we're going to, we'll be talking more and more Ravens. I want to make 2 points about the Ravens. And Kevin Ostreich will be joining us also, bottom of the hour. Locked on Ravens. We'll get into all this with him. I do want to say 2 things, though, coming out of the spring and coming out of the mini camps. Number one, they have not led us to believe that they confident about the center position. Anybody who watched this team last year and watched Lamar basically get his brains beat out all year long knew that they needed an upgrade on the offensive line. They got Danny Pinner, they got Gwynn, they got Corey Bullock, and they were all in there battling, but they're not anywhere near being able to make any kind of determination. And I'm going to tell you why, and it's very simple. They haven't hit yet. You don't know what you got, especially up front, and until the pad starts smacking. So, they, in fact, I love the mentor. I'm looking it up now. Oh, here it is. Even though none of those three have stepped out, this is a mentor. Quote, the whole idea of the offseason is to put yourself in position to compete for the job in training camp, and I think all 3 of those guys are doing that. Man, oh man, that's some impressive word salad right there. That's answering a question and not telling you anything. But I'll feel better about things once I see how that offensive line is going to look, because they have. It's not they should. They got to fix it. Otherwise, it's going to be a long year. Another long year here. The second point I want to make is Lamar. Lamar got there early, and Lamar stayed late. There was a lot of criticism of Lamar about mini camps and things like that, and his attitude towards them. He was there for just about everyone, and he was a leader. He was, as Charlie Eggman used to say, he was a holler guy out there. He's easy to criticize sometimes, I suppose, but keep that in mind the next time you're getting ready to criticize Lamar Jackson, because he, we've been lucky enough to have great pro football players in this town, from Gino Marchetti to Art Donovan, Johnny Unitas, Lenny Moore, up through Ray Lewis and Ed Reed, and Jonathan Ogden. Lamar is on that tier, okay? Lamar is a generational player, and, I say that about him a lot, generational player, generational talent. Well, you know what that means? That means once a generation you see somebody like this. I saw a prediction that they might be ready to extend. I'm trying to remember who wrote it. And I saw years and numbers, and I don't want to give those out because I can't confirm the report, but at least the talk is out there. And it would be kind of nice if they were able to just go ahead and say, Lamar's going to be here the rest of his career, because he's earned that. Everybody in town loves him, but he's under some criticism at times, for not showing up to minicamp and things. Well, he was there. And it's a free country. You can criticize whomever or whatever you want, as long as you want, wherever you want. But if you want to be educated about it, don't go after Lamar for this offseason. Lamar did everything they needed him to do, especially with the new coaching staff. Jesse Minter, how much more secure do you think it makes him feel when he comes in here and his superstar quarterback signs on immediately, and all his teammates see him signing on and see how hard he's working in the spring? That's immeasurable, So balance out the Lamar criticism with that, if you can. I mean, when he got here, I was still, a journalist. I was still covering the team, and I had to, approach him that way. But since I've retired, I've become more of a fan. And I just marvel watching him play. He does things nobody else can do. And I've told this one a lot. I'm sure I'm known for repeating myself, but it bears repeating now. When I was in middle school, we had the ABA team, the Virginia Squires. And the Virginia Squires were the first team to sign Dr. J. So I would go to Squires games, and I would see a 21-year-old Dr. J doing impossible things, flying through the air, just being Dr. J. And I would leave that arena thinking, you know what? I just saw something I've never seen before. That guy's special. And I never got that feeling again until I saw Lamar play. And I saw Ed Reed play 100 times. Ed Reed was special. He was amazing. But Lamar reminds me of a young Dr. J, Keep him upright. Keep him healthy. He's so good. And I can't wait for him to win a Super Bowl, so all this other talk will stop. There. Off my soapbox. Coming up, Kevin Ostreicher, Locked On Ravens. Stick around. If you're on hold, stay on hold. We'll get to you. Bruce and Femi continues.
The teams you grew up with.
Ravens are world champions.
Are the ones you still love today. 105.7 The Fan.
Baltimore's Classic 5 golf courses make golf fun and affordable. All 5 local courses, Pine Ridge, Mount Pleasant, Forest Park, Carroll Park, and Clifton Park, are challenging and fun for players of all skill levels. Book your tee time today at classic5golf.com.
Popeye's $20 family meal is so good to your people and your budget. This Bowl Louisiana feast has, count them, 11 hand-breaded tenders or 9 pieces of our Shatter Crunch signature chicken. Then we're looking at a large side and 4 biscuits. And did I mention it's all for $20? It's time to gather your crew and make them all happy. Order for your whole fam today.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
At participating U.S. restaurants, price may vary, tax extra.
Look who has extra pep in their step.
Well, I just finished my to-do list. I went to Giant and got groceries for the week, and I was even able to pick up everything for those barbecues and pool parties we have planned. You know what's even better?
What?
I get money back on the entire trip.
How are you doing that?
By using Upside.
Upside? What's that?
It's a free app where I earn cash back on groceries, gas, and dining out. They even gave me a cashback bonus on my first trip to Giant.
So that extra pep comes from all that cash back. Looks like I need to download Upside.
You really do.
Roll into summer with a full grocery cart and extra cash back. Download Upside and use promo code CHARM04 to earn an extra $10 cash back on your first purchase at Giant. That's promo code CHARM04 for an extra $10 cash back. Remember, use promo code CHARM04.
Offers vary by user and location at participating merchants. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions.
Meet Sophia, a huge soccer fan. With her Real Unlimited from Total Wireless, she's streaming 3 games, video calling her cousin in Mexico,
and running the quiniela all on my new Samsung Galaxy.
She's practically running the whole tournament from her phone.
Good thing I have Total Wireless.
Switch to Total Wireless Total Max 5G or All Access plans to get on a network that won't put you second. Plus, a Samsung Galaxy on us. Total Wireless, your own Real Unlimited. Offer ends 7/8/2026 or while supplies last. Device taxes and fees may apply.
This summer, the Honey Pepper Pimento Chicken Sandwich and Pineapple Dragon Fruit and Sprite are back at Chick-fil-A.
Let me tell you about the Pineapple Dragon Fruit and Sprite. It's bright, it's bubbly, it's back.
The Honey Pepper Pimento Chicken Sandwich, it's so rich, and you can choose between the original or the spicy filet.
Ooh, boy.
And then you got those pickled jalapenos tucked right under the filet, and then just to top it all off, you've got a little honey drizzle right on top.
Okay, now I'm a pimento fan.
And I'm feeling the dragon fruit.
Which fan favorite will you choose? Real customers paid for their testimonials.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/team. That's ZipRecruiter.com/team.
ZipRecruiter.
T-Mobile has an exclusive bundle for customers 55 and up.
I'm Sarah Bowl.
Yeah, I'm Frank Bowl.
A reliable network is key for us. And with T-Mobile, it's been wonderful. And going to the 55 plus plan saved us so much money.
a lot.
And that's important. Trying to keep costs down. The home internet's been perfect. It's fast, it's quick. The setup was so easy, it took less than 15 minutes.
It was like, If you want simplicity, coverage, reliability, you want the whole package, T-Mobile has it.
Right now, T-Mobile customers 55 and up can get 2 phone lines on America's best network, plus America's fastest 5G home internet for just $30 each.
$30 per month each line with autopay plus taxes and fees. Minimum age 55. Pricing for home internet rely on 2 lines of Essentials Choice 55. $35 connection charge per line required. Best mobile network and fastest 5G home internet based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data 2H 2025. All rights reserved.
Weekends on the Fan. Here's Bruce Cunningham and Femi Ayanbadejo.
Every place we go, so won't you please be my baby. One and only, say you'll be my darling. Be my baby now.
Oh, man. I'm at Camden Yards one time, sitting in the dugout, waiting to do a live shot, and my photographer's with me. She's a young lady, and she said, "What would your walk-up music be if you were on the Orioles?" I said, "Be My Baby" by the Ronettes. I don't even care what it would sound like. I love that song that much. 410-583-1057. Last segment, we talked a little bit about the Ravens and training camp in less than a month. Rookies report July 26th. I know that's circled in red ink on Kevin Ostreicher's calendar. That's for sure. Kevin, how you spending the off season?
It's a low period right now, so, just trying to get through it to training camp, and it's still got a couple weeks to go, but, I think the excitement of all the newness is what I'm really looking forward to, especially once training camp kicks off, moving the practices from the afternoon, the open ones, to that 10, 11 a.m. window. I'm excited to see how everything works.
Yeah, I'm for that. Those afternoons can be brutal out there,
Yeah. You get to that 2 p.m., 3 p.m., you're really feeling the heat. So, and that's one of the things that I was talking about, where it's like, them bringing in all this newness and Jesse Minter. It's not just going to be about the system and the scheme. There's going to be a lot of little things that, like, maybe Don Harbaugh liked to do that Jesse Minter's going to want to change, or stuff along those lines. So I'm interested to see what else there is to change. One of which could be, do they play their guys in the preseason or not?
Yeah, well, I think we know the answer to that. There's talk, and I've heard this from serious people, including I've even talked with Femi about this, that these joint practices could replace preseason games.
Yeah, and that's really where we're seeing the shift, especially when it comes to preseason. I remember, when it was the 4 preseason games, there was like a set schedule almost. Yeah. Like, you play your starters for a couple drives in the first game, then like a quarter in the second game, a half in the third game, then they get that last game off. But now we're seeing it, not that everybody does it, but there are a lot more teams that rest their guys. And the only opportunity for the teams that do rest their players to get one-on-one reps, or just reps in general, it could be 7-on-7 full team reps against other opponents, is in those joint practices. So I'm really glad Baltimore has 2 of them, and it'll be a really good opportunity. And that's when, especially like the training camp starts, you've been hitting your own guys for a couple weeks. You really just want to go hit somebody else. And that's where all the skirmishes and the intensity comes in. But yeah, I think the joint practices have been a really big factor. Now, Baltimore has started slow these last couple of seasons. Yep. So maybe they'd want to play their starters for a couple drives or plays in the first preseason game potentially. But joint practice is a really good opportunity for him.
I made a speech last segment. I got on my soapbox and everything about Lamar this spring, and about his level of activity, and the fact that just showing up, how important that is. If you're Jesse Minter and you're coming in and taking this high-profile job, it's vital to have your superstar quarterback sign on from the beginning, and it looks like that's what we saw this spring.
No, absolutely. It's the buy-in factor, and you can tell. And I think that his teammates have, rallied around that as well. I mean, Mark Andrews had an interview, I believe it was with CBS Sports recently, and, he was talking about how, Lamar goes, we go. He's the leader of the team and everything along those lines. So I think that the buy-in that Lamar has given to the Ravens this offseason has been really key, and I think it shows the belief, and especially with what he and other players are saying at the podium about the coaching staff. I mean, I've said it all the time. It just feels like there hasn't been like one negative thing about this coach. Like, everyone's talking positively. It feels like the energy is so up right now But Lamar being there, showing up, I think does also show like the sense of urgency. Like, hey, this is all new. Let's get this down. Let's get this going. And I mean, it has been a really big tone setter for them this offseason.
You know, I think this July, I don't know if they'll decide it this month, but July and August, they're going to wait till they get into the meat of training camp to figure out this center position. From what I was reading and what I've seen, 3 guys are in a dead heat here, it looks like.
Yeah, and I think that's what they want. And honestly, and I think Femi's talked about this. He talked about it with me on my show, and I'm sure he might have said it with you, but where you're looking at the center position, the more time goes on, the more you think that center spot is a guy on the roster. And I agree with him on that, where I think that they could go out there and sign a center. They could go out there and trade for a guy. But it feels like they're confident in the guys that they have. And I think the honest truth of what I feel about the roster right now, if the season started today, like, I'm not sure, like, maybe there's 1 or 2 guys I'd bring in, but that's like, that's me being greedy. I think this roster is good to go right now if the season started today, but I think what they want to do is they do want to evaluate through those first couple weeks of training camp and see, because if you sign a guy right now and you promise whoever that is a potential role, or you do say, hey, we want you to be our starting center, for example, or they trade for a guy, and then all of a sudden you get to training camp and Denny Pinter or Jovan Gwen or Corey Bullock goes out there and just tears up the competition, it's kind of an awkward conversation to have with a guy you just traded for to be your starting center. Like, yeah, well, this guy's this is the guy I want to go for. So I think that if they don't see enough from their start or from the starting competition, and that could be the center spot, it could be maybe young wide receivers, they want to bring in a vet there, could even be in the edge room with some of their like end of roster stuff. Does that mean that Jadeveon Clowney becomes a possibility? I think being in wait and see mode is the right decision for him.
Eric has shown us that he's not shy about bringing in veterans very late in the preseason. He's done that before. You mentioned Clowney. That's a great example right there. Yeah,
as Clowney would be the example based off of how he likes to wait it out a little bit, and then he'll latch on with the team and he'll perform. So it could be another option for him.
I tell you what, I'm excited to see this preseason too. I want to see some of these young receivers. The more I read about these guys, the more excited I get.
Yeah, I agree. And the Ravens have not had this skill set at the receiver position. I mean, you got to go back pretty far. And I think Lamar, they've tried it a couple of times. I mean, Miles Boykin, they hope to be this size-speed combo guy or some of those other players. But, I think with Lane and Surratt, you have 2 big-body players, but I think both of them are both similar and different in good ways. So it's not like super redundant, but I think Surratt is probably the more NFL-ready player at this point. I think Lane probably has the higher ceiling, but both, I think, have pretty high floors and pretty high ceilings. And I think the big thing, and especially with what Jesse Minter said about maybe one of them at least hopefully getting an opportunity, is they can maybe be the Tez Walker of last season if they don't bring in a vet, where, Tez, when he was called upon as that 4th wide receiver, he would go out there and he'd score a touchdown. And that's what the Ravens needed and wanted out of him, showing those flashes. Now, Tez has essentially been promoted to that number 3 spot. And then you have a guy that now can potentially come in and be that bigger body presence. Plus, I think that's how the Ravens, as the roster currently stands, replaced Isaiah Likely and Charlie Kohler. I think that, Matt Hibner and Josh Cuevas, really talented in their own right, but they don't have like that jump ball athleticism profile that I think Lane and Surratt do as those bigger bodied targets. And that's one of the many changes maybe we're seeing with Declan Doyle in that offense. No fullback now, you're running 4 tight ends, but you have bigger body players there, and they're leaning into the use too, which I think they haven't done in recent seasons.
The tight end is going to, I won't say less significant, but it's not going to be nearly as significant as we've seen in the last couple of years. Just from watching Chicago's offense last year, if the Ravens look like that, then it's not going to be multiple tight ends on the field.
Yeah, and honestly, I think that's okay. I think, for Baltimore in this new offensive system, one of the things that sticks out to me about what Declan Doyle and obviously Ben Johnson did in Chicago last year was the fact that for Baltimore, they weren't really spreading the ball around a lot. Chicago does that. Chicago is a team that had 7 guys that had over 30 targets. And for the Ravens, that number was 2. So I think that being able to spread the ball out, get more guys involved, also can just help guys get into a rhythm where, like if you're, let's just say Rashad Bateman, for example, and you are getting like 3 targets a game, 2 receptions, it can be hard for you to get into a rhythm consistently over the course of the game and over the course of the season. I think Declan Doyle with the play action, with all of these receivers at his disposal, I think that's a recipe for success, especially as Lamar Jackson. I mean, look, he's 29, but he's continuing to get better every year, it feels like. Last year's a bit of an outlier with the injuries and all the stuff that happened, but I mean, after 2023's MVP season, we were like, man, that's a crazy year. How can he get? And look what he did: 41 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. He still gets better.
I'll be interested to see how much Snoop plays in the preseason too.
Yeah, I think he'll probably get a little bit of run, but honestly, I wouldn't expect too. I think
that's what I'm thinking.
Skylar Thompson out there and the rookies, right? I feel like Snoop has earned like that backup spot. There's no competition for it. So I think maybe that first game he'll get some run, but maybe the second and third game, not so much. I don't know.
All right, let's do the plug. Kevin's his podcast, he's the hardest working man. I'm going to be on there Wednesday, right?
Yep. Wednesday, we're going to we're doing the recording Wednesday for Thursday, so you can catch the episode on Thursday. But yes, Locked On Ravens is where you can find me. We're a 5-day-a-week plus more daily Ravens podcast, so we have episodes twice a day, 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. Eastern time. And actually, yesterday was episode 1,800 consecutively since starting off the show. So if you want daily Ravens coverage and content, we're available wherever you get your podcast in audio form and on YouTube in video form as well.
You're going to catch Cal Ripken pretty soon. Is that number gross? You know that, right?
I'm circling the number.
All right, Kevin, I'll talk to you on Wednesday.
Yes, I'm looking forward to it, Bruce. Thanks so much.
All right, there he goes. Kevin Ostreicher. I mean, the man does a segment every single day. And they're not like little 5-minute high. I mean, he's throwing down 25, 30 minutes every day. And I admire that kind of work ethic. It would kill me if it were me. In fact, just doing this show is about all I can handle, okay? Especially now because I'm talking so much more. I'm going to have to take a nap when I get home. I'm used to having Femi over there, and man, oh man. He'll be back, though, this week. We are doing the show on Friday this week. No Saturday show. It's July 4th, company holiday, so we'll be in here Friday from noon to 3 in our regular time, just Friday instead of Saturday. And I don't know if I was going to mention this, but that's also my birthday. We'll be doing the show on my birthday. So there's that. 410-583-1057. JT, Ed, Steve, you guys have been in line. We're going to get to you next. Stick around.
What happens next happens here. Baltimore Sports Radio.
That ball is out of here.
105.7 The Fan.
Honey, did you invite the minions over?
Hello. Well, you know how we talked about getting Wi-Fi from Xfinity?
Yeah.
I ordered it this morning, was online in minutes, then they showed up.
So they just came over to use the Wi-Fi?
They even brought their own devices and spell book.
You didn't give them the new Wi-Fi password, right?
No.
That's good.
I gave them our old one. Because Xfinity lets us keep the same network name and password so devices connect instantly.
What do they want Wi-Fi for anyways?
Better not to know. Plausible deniability.
Get streaming or scheming instantly with same-day Wi-Fi from Xfinity. Plus, lock in one price for the most reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi for 5 years. Guaranteed. And see Minions and Monsters only in theaters. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Use of fiber coaxial cable. Learn more at xfinity.com/same-day Wi-Fi.
Stars, stripes, and savings. Get up to 30% off during Raymore and Flanigan's 4th of July sale. Enjoy can't-miss deals on sofas, sectionals, sleepers, bedroom sets, and more for every room in your home. Items are in stock and ready for delivery in 3 days or less. You can also save up to $600 on top mattress brands during the 4th of July mattress sale. Celebrate 250 years and save up to 30% today at Raymore and Flanigan, now open in White Marsh.
Now that Wendy's has these new biggie deals, everyone in the family can get what they're craving, from nugs to JBCs. The parental units can get an $8 biggie bundle, the eldest who think they're so grown can get a $6 biggie bag, and the little one who can do no wrong can get a $4 biggie bites. You know, assuming they have a credit card. No, I'm kidding. We take cash too. 4, $6, and $8 biggie deals for the whole family. Only at Wendy's.
Price and participation may vary. Single items at regular price. Prices may be higher in Alaska, California, and Hawaii. You just testified under oath you're getting more fiber in your diet, and it was easy. Where is this additional fiber coming from?
Mira Fiber Gummies.
Objection!
It's true. Mira Fiber has 8 grams of fiber to help me get the fiber I need in a day, plus 4 B vitamins for metabolism support. All in one serving.
Overruled.
My gut rests its case.
Oh, that's my line.
Find Mirafiber today at your local retailer from the makers of Miralax. Mirafiber supports metabolism of carbs, fats, and proteins. Serving size is 4 gummies.
And the match is about to begin.
Most of the team is out with COVID-19, so there'll be some substitutes tonight.
What's this? We have an unexpected guest on the field.
It's a dog. Well, they could do with extra players.
She's going for the ball.
Are front paws hands or feet?
Soccer season is full of surprises, and COVID-19 could be one of them. If you test positive, prescription medications may help. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Learn more at PfizerForAll.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
The Colonel's cooked up a new $10 bucket of the day just for you. Monday, 24 nuggets for $10. Tuesday, 8-piece fried chicken for $10. Wednesday, 10 wings for $10. Thursday, 8 tenders for $10. Friday, 24 nuggets for... Ooh, you guessed it, didn't you? $10. The $10 bucket of the day deal. Every weekday, only at KFC. It's finger licking good.
Prices and participation vary while supplies last. Not available on third-party ordering platforms. Tax extra.
Weekends on the Fan. Here's Bruce Cunningham and Femi Ayanbadejo.
Through the backyard we go walking, and he look into my eyes. Lord knows to my surprise, the only one who could ever reach me was the son of a preacher man. The only boy who could ever teach me was the son of a preacher man. Yes, he was. Yeah, he was. Oh, he was.
Man. Aaron told me about this. I had heard this before. It's the first time. Dusty Springfield had the big hit, 1969, okay? But this is a revelation, you know? Dusty passed away. But if she's still with us, you just send her a telegram. Quit singing the Stamp song, okay? I just heard Aretha sing it. Yeah, don't, just stop. All right, thanks to Kevin Ostreicher for joining us. Always a font of information. As the weeks go by this summer, we will be talking more and more Ravens. And then when training camp opens, I will probably be wall-to-wall unless the Orioles can get this thing figured out. I hope so. 410-583-1057. Let's go to JT in Towson. JT, what's up?
Actually, I'm in Parkville, Bruce.
Oh, my bad. I did. You know what? I read it wrong. You're right.
That's okay. That's okay.
It's not the first time you call me. I should know JT's in Parkville by now, you know?
That's all right. I'm easily forgettable. Okay. Tony and Rosedale.
Yeah.
Are we really going there? Are we going to trade a guy who coming out of spring training 2025 had an oblique, but then when he got in there with a shoulder impingement still hit 18 home runs? We're going to trade him for a guy that Minnesota more often than not has to have somebody else in center field because their normal center fielders either in the hot tub, cold tub, or on the trainer table.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, when Byron Buxton's in there, he can go get it, and he can hit.
But you got to have him on the field.
Yeah, like Vinny says, the best ability is availability.
Right.
Now, I will agree with your other caller. Gunnar, right now you got to start with the superstar status. What Gunnar needs to do is, spray the ball, not try to be the home run. He's got someone protecting him in the lineup who's the home run hitter, Pete Alonso. He has to get back to the 280-300 280-300 hitter. Now, if he gets into 25, 30 home runs is fine. But he needs to drive people in with singles and doubles and all that.
Just be a hitter.
And be a hitter. And then maybe he can start getting the superstar status.
See, and that's why I brought it up earlier in the show. He's got 2 years of control left, 27 and 28.
Yeah.
Trade deadline's coming up. I'm just saying, is it outrageous?
Well, not because, again, you said the untouchables thing is starting to wane a little bit with Gunnar. But if he gets back to being hitting for average, 280-ish, 300, and stop swinging for the fences, but does get about 25 home runs, that superstar status could be put back.
You know what? I'd just be happy to see him get to 250.
Well, okay, yeah, 250. I mean, he's what, 225 now?
If that.
If that,
If
yeah.
that, you know.
All right, Bruce. I know you got a lot more callers.
All right, JT.
I just wanted to get in there.
Appreciate hearing from you. Thank you. 410-583-1057. Let's go to Steve in Cockeysville. Steve, what's up?
Hey, Bruce. How you doing?
Doing all right.
First of all, I'm a big fan. You always say Baltimore loves you madly. Well, Baltimore loves you madly.
I know they do. I feel it. Believe me.
I wish you were on the air more often.
I'm retired. I'm retired.
I know.
You know,
Anyway,
management around here, they'll say from time to time, you know, couldn't you do this or couldn't you? I say no.
You've done your duty.
I have.
So anyway, Bruce, you know, it's funny. I was going to call about the Orioles and how disappointing I think all their young players are, including Gunnar Henderson. As far as I'm concerned, he's an average player. But your other, Kevin Oestreicher got me thinking about the Ravens, and I want to talk about the Ravens instead of the Orioles. And my concern about the Ravens this year, I love the new coaching staff. I love the fact that, there's so much energy in the building. But our rushing attack, I think, is really going to be poor this year. I mean, Henry is, 32, 33 years old. Even he is only human. I mean, he's going to wear down at some point. I never considered Hill a good running back. Rasheen Ali, I don't think.
Just to be fair, though, Steve, Hill has really come on the last couple of years. He really has.
He's come on. He's come on as far as catching the ball and blocking, but as far as rushing, he doesn't seem to have that breakaway speed, and he has poor vision.
Yeah.
And also, they let go of Ricard, which I like, but they let go of Keaton Mitchell. Now they say, well, Mitchell didn't fit their system. I don't care. Anybody with that kind of breakaway speed that can score from anywhere on the field,
I know.
You make it fit their system. And plus, we have a giant hole at center. They didn't do nearly enough to improve the interior of the offensive line. Danny Pinter, I never want to see him starting for the Ravens. He was listed as the worst run-blocking center in the league.
You know what?
Years ago.
Hey, you watch these preseason games. Keep your eye on that position because that's where it's going to be decided. I promise you that.
Yeah, but even in preseason, you're going against second, third stringers.
But even so,
even
so, yeah. All right, thanks, Steve. Appreciate it. 410-583-1057. My man, Ed in Towson. What's going on, Ed?
What's up, big brother? How you doing?
Doing all right. I'm lonely in here.
You ain't got your computer right beside you.
And I'm having to talk like 10 times more.
Oh, yeah, dude. Maybe you can fill the void there, brother. But look, real quick, as far as Lamar, I told Rob this when Lamar first got there. I said, here's what's going to make the difference between you playing in those winning 4 games or winning 3 games, Super Bowl, playoffs and Super Bowl and that kind of thing. I always go back to Michael Jordan. When Michael Jordan first got to Chicago, he was hitting 50 points a game, 60 points a game, doing the whole deal. And that was Doug Collins. And that was okay. He did a great job with during that time. Then the Zen Master came in, and I'm not comparing Mentor and Harbaugh, but then the Zen Master came in, and what did he do? He got Tex Winter, and he added pieces. He added Pippen. He added He added pieces. Jordan didn't have to score 50 points. Jordan could score 30, and they could win the game. So that's my challenge right now. What are you going to do to have less Lamar? That's going to win you a Super Bowl. And I know people look like, how can you have less Lamar? Lamar is going to be Lamar, but that young man does not need to have to break his neck in order for us to be successful.
Lamar's got to stop being hit as much,
Exactly, dude. He took some vicious licks last year.
He did. And that comes from running the ball too. That's not just sacks,
Yeah, he doesn't have to do that. Now, the other thing I'll tell you, so if they can fix that, if they can have him do less. I mean, look, Mahomes and the Chiefs, one year they went 10-7. Mahomes looked horrible. But they went 10-7. They got into the playoffs, and they finished the deal. But let me go to the center spot real quick. As far as that center spot goes, you're right. Pads. You're not going to know till you got pads.
Well, you coached O-line, right? You coached O-line. You can't evaluate offensive linemen in helmets and shorts, can you?
No, coach. The private schools are out there working out right now.
Yeah.
Because they can. And I go to some of the practices over at DeMatha, and I'm like, well, you got kids that are 6'3", 6'4", 295. You're not going to know until you get into that position. And here's the thing. The guy that takes that center spot, here's what they're going to do, if it's Penn or anybody else. Once the ball game starts, once the lights come on, they're going to put your center in a position where he's got to single block somebody. Because normally a center gets help. Well, if I'm a defense coordinator, I'm going to say, okay, we're going to put enough people up there to where you got a single block, and let's see how good he is. That's why I can't trust Voorhees in there. Great kid, but I can't trust him in there. They got to put the veteran in there and go from there. But, Lamar's got to do less. If Lamar does less, I think you win a Super Bowl, and that's it. Take care, brother.
All right, man. Thanks. Always good to hear from Ed in Towson. Boy, that would be nice, wouldn't it? Another Super Bowl. You know, the interesting thing, though, and I was going to jump in on him, but when Ed gets going, I just like to let him get going. Both times the Ravens won the Super Bowl, they were not that highly regarded. You know, in 2000, it was all about the defense. And remember, the offense couldn't score touchdown for games at a time. And then in 2012, that team wasn't thought to be all that great either until they got hot in the playoffs, you know? So I don't know what I'm leading up to here, but I think that's worth pointing out that, you know, the championship teams are not always the teams that everyone thinks going to be the championship teams. Now, when it comes to the AFC North, I like the moves that Cleveland's been making. I don't know how much better the Bengals are going to be. They did get some defense, you know. Cleveland, they added some pieces, but, you know, they're the Cleveland Browns. And at some point, they're going to brown, because the Browns going to brown, as they say. So I'm not real sure what to think of them with Monken as head coach. And that leaves the Steelers. And, you know, you guys know, I've got a lot of relatives that are Steeler fans. And all of them are basically saying the same thing, that something fundamental has changed in the way the Pittsburgh Steelers do business. The stuff with Russell Wilson and Aaron Rodgers, bringing them in, this didn't used to happen. You know, and the Steelers, even though we don't like them very much here, we always had to sort of respect the organization. They stayed competitive, and they did it through, you know, player development and the draft. You know, I mean, the Steelers are great at that. How many of you have heard of their 74 draft, the 1974 draft for the Pittsburgh Steelers? 4 Hall of Famers in their first 6 picks. 4. Swan, Stallworth, Mike Webster, and Jack Lambert, all in the same draft. That's what the Steeler Foundation was built on. And when you look at the way they're doing things up there now, I just shake my head. What happened to the Pittsburgh Steelers? What have you done with them? Now, having said all of that, I will say I refuse to write them off, because every year I find a way to write off the Pittsburgh Steelers, and every year I couldn't be more wrong. So we'll see. It's an exciting time of year. Football's coming up. Coming up next hour, I'm really looking forward to this. One of my favorite people on this planet, Mike Hill of Fox Sports. You watched him for years on SportsCenter. He and I go way, way back. We'll get into that. We'll also talk about maybe his nascent new career as a stand-up comedian. That's all coming up at 2:30. Stick around. Hour number 3 of the Bruce and Femi Show coming up.
Big Bad Morning Show. Vinny and Haynie. Inside Access. Live on YouTube weekdays 6 till 6. Search Baltimore 105.7 The Fan. Subscribe for daily shorts right to your phone and never miss what you missed. 105.7 The Fan.
This weekend only at Old Navy, get 50% off all activewear for the family. Yep, half off all activewear for the fam. Hurry in this Saturday and Sunday to save big only at Old Navy. Valid 6/27 and 28. Excludes clearance, license, and maternity.
Look who has extra pep in their step.
Well, I just finished my to-do list. I went to Giant and got groceries for the week, and I was even able to pick up everything for those barbecues and pool parties we have planned. You know what's even better?
What?
I get money back on the entire trip.
How are you doing that?
By using Upside.
Upside? What's that?
It's a free app where I earn cash back on groceries, gas, and dining out. They even gave me a cashback bonus on my first trip to Giant.
So that extra pep comes from all that cash back. Looks like I need to download Upside.
You really do.
Roll into summer with a full grocery cart and extra cash back. Download Upside and use promo code CHARM04 to earn an extra $10 cash back on your first purchase at Giant. That's promo code CHARM04 for an extra $10 cash back. Remember, use promo code CHARM04.
Offers vary by user and location at participating merchants. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions.
This golf season, get fit for clubs with Baltimore County Golf and start improving your game. Plus, Baltimore County Golf gives you more golf with your golf purchase than other retailers. More range credits to practice with your new clubs. More rounds at Greystone and Woodlands to get out on the course. More money back to Advantage cardholders to spend in the golf shop or on lessons with any of our PGA professionals. Visit BaltimoreGolfing.com/getfit to make an appointment and get more golf for your club purchase this season. Get fit and get more with Baltimore County Golf.
Popeye's $20 family meal is so good to your people and your budget. This Bold Louisiana feast has, count them, 11 hand-breaded tenders or 9 pieces of our Shatter Crunch signature chicken. Then we're looking at a large side and 4 biscuits. And did I mention it's all for $20? It's time to gather your crew and make them all happy. Order for your whole fam today.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
At participating U.S. restaurants, price may vary, tax extra.
Meet Sophia, a huge soccer fan. With her Real Unlimited from Total Wireless, she's streaming 3 games, video calling her cousin in Mexico,
and running the quiniela all on my new Samsung Galaxy.
She's practically running the whole tournament from her phone.
Good thing I have Total Wireless.
Switch to Total Wireless Total Max 5G or All Access plans to get on a network that won't put you second. Plus, a Samsung Galaxy on us. Total Wireless, your own Real Unlimited. Offer ends 7/8/2026 or while supplies last. Device taxes and fees may apply.
I'm Piera Palazzolo, VP of Digital Marketing for the American Management Association, a company focused on the management training skills needed to enhance the careers of business professionals. We did our research when it came to the best companies for website development and chose AmericanEagle.com. And we couldn't be happier. AmericanEagle.com worked closely with us to understand the front and back end requirements needed to launch an e-commerce website that could handle the complexities of running thousands of seminars nationwide. Our robust new website and improved SEO saw immediate increases in site traffic and web revenue. If you're in need of managerial effectiveness and success, visit our website at amanet.org. If you're in need of a website that provides an unparalleled consumer experience, I highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Transform your business today. Dial 877-WebNow1 for a free digital consultation with AmericanEagle.com.
This is WJZ-FM, Catonsville, Baltimore's sports talk at 105.7 The Fan, and always live on the free Odyssey app. Weekends on The Fan. Here's Bruce Cunningham and Femi Ayanbadejo.
Welcome back. Bruce Cunningham, Bruce and Femi show. Femi Ayanbadejo with the week off. He will be back next week, and we will head into the late summer and fall side by side as we have. I'm working a lot harder today because Femi's a talker, you know? I'm having to come up and be more interesting. It's all right, though. It's a lot of fun. No show next Saturday. July 4th, Saturday, July 4th is a holiday. And so Femi and I will be doing our show Friday from noon to 3. Friday, July 3rd from noon to 3. So just keep that in mind. And if you're knocking around, tune us in, right? 410-583-1057. Orioles back at it tonight with the Nationals, taking on the Foster Griffin. Comes in with an 8-2 record, 3.15 ERA. Rich Dubroff told us earlier that he the last 3 years in Japan. And I think I did see him throw earlier this year. He's not bad. Not bad at all. The Orioles counter with probably their biggest surprise, or their most welcome surprise, and that's Brandon Young. They're 8-2 in games he started. He's got a 6-2 record, 3.07 ERA. I'm liking it. I'm liking it a lot. And Kyle Gibson pitched the other day. I wanted to talk about him briefly. Gibson is looking like the real thing. He's from my hometown. I know his mom, and so I kind of root for him. But to be honest, the one thing I want to see Gibson do is keep the ball in the ballpark more. You know, I don't. He gives up too many home runs, and that drives me nuts. It really does. But tonight, 7:05. We mentioned this several times today. The 4:00 starts are on Saturday are pretty much history for up until September. But so every Saturday night at home until then will be a 7 p.m. start. And a nice Saturday night at the ballpark ain't a bad thing anyway, you know. I don't know if you heard, but it's going to get really hot this week. I mean, really hot. They're talking about over 100 degrees on Thursday. So take care of yourself in all that. You know, I mean, that's brutal heat. And, you know, the way it is here, air doesn't move. I had a meteorologist I worked with explain it to me one time. He said that To the west, you got the mountains. And to the east, you got the Chesapeake Bay. And they're both natural barriers, and that air just kind of sits in there and just sits, And that's why summer is so unbearable here. It's not much better in the wintertime either. I don't know if you've noticed, but that in the winter when it's cold, that cold kind of goes right down to the bone. You know what that is? That's the humidity. There's humidity in the wintertime too, and those cold temperatures, cool that water vapor or whatever, and it feels. When the Stallions are starting up, and Jim Spiros brought in his brand new coach, Don Matthews from Canada. He brought his wife with him, and his wife was actually Canadian. And I remember her saying to us, this is a different kind of cold than I'm used to feeling. And I said, well, it's the humidity, But anyway, it's going to be dangerous the rest of the week. So be really careful. And also your pets. I like to leave mine out for a couple hours in the morning. Well, I won't be doing that on Thursday. It's just going to be too hot for that. So, just be judicious about that. Ravens, as we were just talking with Kevin Ostreicher, the rookies report on July 26th. The players have gathered, as I like to say, to the 4 wins for a while. And June 26th, they report. Veterans are in 2 days later, and then off we go. First preseason game, Saturday, I think the 13th. Of August, the Ravens are hosting the Eagles, and then they are at Minnesota, and they're going to practice against Minnesota, and then they're going to play that game. And then the final week is the Commanders, as it usually is, and they're going to practice against the Commanders too. So that's the schedule for the Ravens between now and the preseason. We have 3 TV monitors in the studio here, and I'm looking at one. And Bull Durham's coming on. I'm going to tell you a quick Bull Durham story. There is if you grew up around here, you probably don't know much about him. But if you grew up in a minor league town like I did, Max Patkin, the traveling baseball clown. It's hard to describe what his act was like because it was kind of weird. But he's in Bull Durham. It shows him doing his act, and it also, they gave him some lines in the movie, which I thought was great. So when the movie came out on home video, I'm still down in Alabama, and Max Patkin is out doing publicity for the movie. So I said, I'll go interview him. Yeah, I want to. So I got to the video store, and I bought a VHS copy. That's how long ago this was. And after we did the interview, I said, Max, could I prevail upon you? Max Patkin signed my copy of Bull Durham. There he is right there. So I told him, I said, Max, we worked together once before. He said, what? I said, no, actually, we worked together twice before. Where was that? One of my first jobs I was a PA announcer for the Peninsula Pilots in the Carolina League. They moved to Wilmington, became the Blue Rocks, and they've done pretty well up there. But back then, they were in Hampton, Virginia. Near my home, and I was their PA announcer, and Max came to town. The act is the same every night. He handed me a cassette and a script. He said, put the cassette in and follow the script, and we'll be fine. So we were. It was funny. He got his laughs and all that. So I related that to him. I said, yeah, we worked together in Peninsula, and he stopped me. He says, what a horse blank ballpark that was. And that was my meeting with Max Patkin, but what a life he led. And if you've ever seen him perform, you'll never forget him. And like I said, they did right by him in Bull Durham. And that's to be commended. The guy that directed Bull Durham and also wrote it, former Oriole farmhand. We'll get into that some other time. Let's get to the phones first. 410-583-1057. Let's go to Jeff in Baltimore. Jeff, what's going on?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me okay?
I hear you just fine.
All right. Good afternoon, and a good segue since this is a little non-sports. You're the man of music and such, and movies, as I see. I hope you've seen, or I suggest you see, and will truly enjoy the movie. It just came out on one of the streaming devices. Don't want to have any free advertising. Anyway, it was in the movies. I saw it at the Charles Theater. I can advertise that. It was an independent movie, and it's movie called The Green Book.
Yeah, I saw The Green Book, of course. Sure.
There you go. Well, somehow it went under the radar for a lot, from what I could tell, but it was a magnificent movie.
It was terrific, and somebody won an Oscar. I can't remember which character it was. It was one of the two main characters.
Viggo Mortensen or Mahershala Ali.
It might have been him, yeah.
Mm-hmm. That was just beautiful done on all levels.
I travel down 301 a lot, in southern Maryland.
Oh.
And there are some of those, if you know where to look, there are some of those Green Book motels left down there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they might not all be open, but but some of those are still there.
Yeah, quite a story and beautifully put together. And another little plug, there is the U.S. Women's Open on regular TV but that is happening this weekend. The U.S. Women's Open, the LPGA just doesn't get enough credit anywhere.
You know what?
Wimbledon
the LPGA they're not generating stars anymore. They really aren't.
I would disagree respectfully with that for that.
Well, I'm not saying they're not generating good players, but they're not generating stars. You understand? That's what I'm saying. Then the LPGA was always pretty good at identifying, but they're not doing that right now. I remember when it was at Bully Rock about 10 years ago up in Hartford, Canada.
I volunteered at that.
I think the girl's name was Siri Kim, and she on the last hole. She approached and landed at about 2 inches from the cup, sunk the putt and won. If you remember that particular tournament, and we had her after the tournament interviewing her, and somebody said, "What club did you use to hit that approach shot?" And she says, "My tournament winning club." I've never forgotten that line. It was great.
Yeah, she was great. Still playing that gal.
Yeah,
and also Wimbledon starting this weekend. That's a great summer milestone.
All right, Dad. Sounds like you got your hands full. Thanks for the call. We appreciate it. Been there, done that. It's funny with babies. And Mike, you don't know anything about this yet. Cordell could tell you about it, but Mike, the thing about babies, I was working with Morgan Atzett and one of our news anchors at Fox 45, Maxine Stryker. And they were both pregnant at basically the same time. And Maxine would come in the sports office and visit with Morgan, and I would tell them that neither one of you realize how fundamentally this is going to change your life. Once you have a child, you go out the window. It's all about that child. And I tell the young dads all the time when I was working with them, I said, you know what? Yeah, you can stay up as late as you want. You can stay up to 2, 3 in the morning if you want to. But you know what? That baby's getting up at 5, regardless of how late you stay up. So that's worth keeping in mind, too. Let's go to Mitch in New Jersey. Mitch, what's up?
How's it going, Bruce?
Hey.
Hope everything's well.
Doing well.
How you doing?
I'm all right. How you
one
doing?
Thing,
she good? Everything's good.
Couple of things.
All right.
First of all, why did some sports teams, they move, keep the name, other teams had to change it?
Say that again?
Nationals.
Say that again?
Some sports teams have moved.
Yeah.
Some have kept the name, like the Colts.
Right.
Others, like the Washington Senators, the Houston Oilers.
Yeah.
Had to change their names. I find that there's no consistency.
No, there is no consistency. And, it's funny. They were the Tennessee Oilers, if you remember, for a couple of years. And that's what I was doing a broadcast with Scott Garso. And Garso came up with a great line. He said, we shouldn't laugh. Tennessee is 38th in the country in oil production. So we had a good time. But, anymore, the brand, the team name, that's your brand, and it's worth a lot of money. It's like Art Modell took a financial hit for dropping the Browns name, because the Browns name was so well known. And it just comes down to honor on the part of the owners. I mean, you look at the Indianapolis Colts, you can also look at the LA Chargers. It comes down to the owner.
The Jets and Giants keep New York. I think the Chargers should just keep San Diego. They're renties. I mean, they don't even have a post game. That's how much they wanted the Chargers and Clippers over there.
Yeah.
And the Titans with the Jets, they didn't like the name, so now the Tennessee had to come up with the Titans.
Yeah.
And the Colts, it's so fun. I love the part I loved about that on the WNBA. There were 4 or 5 Bruins that got picked in the first 15 picks of the NBA draft. And while you knew I'm going to come around to the Dodgers. They were playing your Orioles. You took care of us to our sleep. But I thought it was a great time to trade for Gunnar Henderson. You guys maybe might have to break on the team. You're not going to sign them. And unfortunately, I think the strike is going to be.
All right, Mitch.
Thank you. Not to play, not to draft minor leaguers from high school.
Yep.
That's not fair.
No, you're right. Thanks for the call, Mitch. I appreciate it. Let me make one thing about this baseball job action. Let me repeat it because I said it earlier today. There's a difference between a lockout and a strike, okay? A strike is when your workforce refuses to come to work. A lockout is when management locks out the workforce. So understand that as we head into this thing, that what we're talking about here is a lockout. It's not a strike. It's a lockout, and there's a huge, huge difference. All right, I'm going to leave the phones open next segment, 410-583-1057. I'd love to talk to you. And then after that, coming up at 2:30, my man Mike Hill. There's a lot to look forward to here on the Bruce and Femi Show.
Wherever the Orioles season takes you.
Say goodbye to this ball.
Download the free Odyssey app and hear reactions to all the biggest moments. Download it today and search 1057 The Fan.
At University of Maryland Global Campus, we give our students credit. Credit for deciding while stuck in traffic to get a bachelor's degree. Credit for managing 3 kids, 2 dogs, and a full-time job to pursue an MBA. Students at UMGC can use prior learning or relevant experience to earn up to 90 credits toward a bachelor's, and graduate students can transfer up to 12 credits toward their master's. Flexible, online, and hybrid classes start soon. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
And the match is about to begin.
Most of the team is out with COVID-19, so there'll be some substitutes tonight.
What's this? We have an unexpected guest on the field.
It's a dog. Well, they could do with extra players.
She's going for the ball.
Are front paws hands or feet?
Soccer season is full of surprises, and COVID-19 could be one of them. If you test positive, prescription medications may help. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Learn more at PfizerForAll.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Skechers elite athlete OG Anunoby has been making history on the basketball court.
Anunoby tips it in. Unbelievable. What a shot.
He's been balling out in Skechers high-performance basketball sneakers, and the world is noticed. But how does OG train off the court to keep in peak physical condition? Hands-free Skechers Slip-ins Aeroburst. They help prepare OG for the physical demands of playing at a championship level. Get your pair of Aeroburst for only $165 at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever high-performance running shoes are sold.
You know that Big Bargain detergent jug is 80% water, right? It doesn't clean as well.
80% water? I thought I was getting a better deal because it's so big.
If you want a better clean, Tide Pods are only 12% water. The rest is pure, concentrated cleaning ingredients.
Oh, let me make an announcement.
Attention shoppers, if you want a real deal, try Tide Pods.
Stop paying for watered-down detergents. Pay for clean. If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Pods. Water content based on the leading bargain liquid detergent.
Look who has extra pep in their step.
Well, I just finished my to-do list. I went to Giant and got groceries for the week, and I was even able to pick up everything for those barbecues and pool parties we have planned. You know what's even better?
What?
I get money back on the entire trip.
How are you doing that?
By using Upside.
Upside? What's that?
It's a free app where I earn cash back on groceries, gas, and dining out. They even gave me a cashback bonus on my first trip to Giant.
So that extra pep comes from all that cash back. Looks like I need to download Upside.
You really do.
Roll into summer with a full grocery cart and extra cash back. Download Upside and use promo code CHARM04 to earn an extra $10 cash back on your first purchase at Giant. That's promo code CHARM04 for an extra $10 cash back. Remember, use promo code CHARM04.
Offers vary by user and location at participating merchants. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions.
Weekends on the Fan. Here's Bruce Cunningham and Femi Ayanbadejo.
Welcome back. Bruce and Femi on an overcast Saturday. It looks like the rain's going to hold off, though. If you're heading over to Camden Yards tonight, you're going to be dry, I think, for a while, maybe. It's Maryland. You never know. But as we mentioned earlier, it's going to get real hot this week. Like Thursday, they're talking 100. And, 100 degrees here feels like a million. Don't get me started. Don't get me started. 410-583-1057 is the number. Mike Hill is going to join us at 2:30. In the meantime, I would love to talk to you. 410-583-1057. If you're following the World Cup, I'm gonna be honest with you. I couldn't stay up for the U.S. and Turkey. I just couldn't. I see they lost, but they advanced. And their next game is Wednesday at 8 p.m. They're going to take on Bosnia-Herzegovina in the knockout round. So that'll be exciting. I'm finding a like for soccer that I didn't know existed. I'm really, this time around, I'm appreciating the defense and the nuance of the game. No, they don't score very much. In fact, I joked with somebody back when I was still announcing Ravens games. We had a friendly. I forget who came in, which two teams it was, but there was a friendly, and they said, well, we need you to announce a game. Easiest day I ever had. Because nobody scores. There's nothing to say. It was awesome. But I admire the U.S. and Canada and Mexico for getting together to host this thing. I don't know if you noticed this. I noticed it because I'm a kind of a sports business guy, and I notice things like this. But have you noticed that none of the stadiums can use their regular name? Like the Meadowlands, it's New York, New Jersey Stadium. Dallas Stadium. None of the corporate names are allowed, and that's because FIFA. FIFA gets the corporate money on all of this stuff, and they said, well, you're not going to call those stadiums by corporate names, not if you're hosting World Cup. So Atlanta Stadium, and it's been kind of funny, Vancouver Stadium. By the way, if you've seen any of those games in Vancouver, if you were a CFL fan, that very field is where the Baltimore Stallions lost the Grey Cup in 1994, right on that very field. And I learned a lesson that day. They played the BC Lions. Never play a team for a championship on their home field. Just don't do it. It ain't going to work. 410-583-1057. Let's go to Kurt in Laurel. Kurt, what's up?
Hey, Bruce.
Hey.
Hey, Bruce. How are you?
I'm well. How you doing?
Hey, I love your show. I've never called, but I wanted to call when the guy said that Cal Ripken had made 20-some errors in 5 years. Well, Cal made 23 errors his second year and 26 errors his third year.
Okay, thanks for that correction.
So, I'm just saying that Gunnar Henderson's, and I agree Cal was a superstar, but so is Gunnar Henderson, and he's going to be, and yeah, we're frustrated because we put a lot on him, but I'm not giving up on Gunnar Henderson.
I'm not really give up on him either. But as far as a superstar, he's got the potential to be that. I mean, he's got the ability to be that. But, the thing about professional sports is you either do it or you don't. And he hasn't been doing it.
I agree with that. I think you're accurate, but I think he is going to do it. And I think
all the signs are there. All the signs are there that he's going to be a great player, but he's got to start doing it, right?
But yes, he does. But I think people remember the past a little. We can look at Cal and what he accomplished now,
right?
But at statistically, at the same point in their career, there isn't a big difference.
Okay,
that's all I'm saying.
All right, Kurt, I appreciate the call. Thanks, I really do. If Gunnar remains an Oriole. And believe me, the price tag is going to be massive. In fact, if you look at Gunnar's numbers, there's no way that somebody's not going to overpay for him. Because the numbers don't reflect what his numbers on the field don't reflect what that contract number is going to be. I'm hearing predictions of like $500 million. He's a Scott Boras client, so maybe that's not out of the question. But. It's like Bear Bryant said, the only thing, what potential means? Potential means you ain't done nothing yet, So there's a lot of potential with Gunnar. And he showed us some power. And he's been a pretty good player with the Orioles now. But if you want to step into that premium level of salary, you got to have premium numbers. And he doesn't. He doesn't. And don't take this as me saying I don't like him. I love the kid. But you got to perform. It's the pros. It's like Ozzie used to tell people he'd sign for special teams. He'd bring him in, set him down, and he says, I brought you in here to make plays on special teams, and I expect you to do just that. And there's got to be kind of that same kind of reckoning, I would think, with Gunnar. Gunnar, I expect this, and we're not seeing it. I almost feel bad when he comes up to the plate now. And I'm not trying to pile on Gunnar Henderson. I wish the Orioles would keep him forever. I wish he'd go into the Hall of Fame as a Baltimore Oriole one day. But up to this point, I haven't seen a whole lot that would justify $500 million. And if you're honest with yourself, you probably say the same thing too. Yeah, he's great. Potentially. That's all I'm saying. 410-583-1057. Jay in Riderwood, what's up? Jay, you there? All right, call us back after a while. We got to hit a break anyway. Stick around. The Bruce and Femi show continues. Coming up, my man Mike Hill, live from L.A.
Big Bad Morning Show. Vinny and Haynie. Inside Access. Live on YouTube weekdays 6 till 6. Subscribe for daily shorts right to your phone and never miss what you missed. 105.7 The Fan.
For all 105.7 The Fan station contest rules, please visit 1057thefan.com.
Fireworks Now at 3205 Carlisle Pike in New Oxford, PA is the place to make your 4th of July the best it can be. At Fireworks Now, over 80% of everything we sell is priced as buy one, get two free. And you can mix and match your selections. It's simple. You get the best deal because Fireworks Now has the best deal. And our facility is so large, you'll never have to wait in line to get in. So remember, the best fireworks deal is less than an hour away at 3205 Carlisle Pike, New Oxford, PA.
Look who has extra pep in their step.
Well, I just finished my to-do list. I went to Giant and got groceries for the week, and I was even able to pick up everything for those barbecues and pool parties we have planned. You know what's even better?
What?
I get money back on the entire trip.
How are you doing that?
By using Upside.
Upside? What's that?
It's a free app where I earn cash back on groceries, gas, and dining out. They even gave me a cashback bonus on my first trip to Giant.
So that extra pep comes from all that cash back. Looks like I need to download Upside.
You really do.
Roll into summer with a full grocery cart and extra cash back. Download Upside and use promo code CHARM04 to earn an extra $10 cash back on your first purchase at Giant. That's promo code CHARM04 for an extra $10 cash back. Remember, use promo code CHARM04.
Offers vary by user and location at participating merchants. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
And the match is about to begin.
Most of the team is out with COVID-19, so there'll be some substitutes tonight.
What's this? We have an unexpected guest on the field.
It's a dog. Well, they could do with extra players.
She's going for the ball.
Are front paws hands or feet?
Soccer season is full of surprises, and COVID-19 could be one of them. If you test positive, prescription medications may help. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Learn more at Pfizerforall.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Skechers elite athlete OG Anunoby has been making history on the basketball court.
Anunoby tips it in. Unbelievable. What a shot.
He's been balling out in Skechers high-performance basketball sneakers, and the world is noticed. But how does OG train off the court to keep in peak physical condition? Hands-free Skechers Slip-ins Aeroburst. They help prepare OG for the physical demands of playing at a championship level. Get your pair of Aeroburst for only $165 at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever high-performance running shoes are sold.
Weekends on the Fan. Here's Bruce Cunningham and Femi Ayanbadejo.
Oh, yeah. Summary, to say the least. Welcome back. Bruce and Femi show. Femi Ayanbadejo is off this week. We are back together and going into the near future next week. But with Femi not being here, you guys know Femi likes to talk, and I knew that I had to lean on some of my boys to help get me through this. And the first name on my list was this guy, Mike Hill of Fox Sports. How are you doing, sir?
Papa Bruce, what's going on, my man? Always good to hear from you, man.
Always good to hear from you, too. I want to say this first. When I first met you, in the first 10 minutes, I found out that you were a rabid Knicks fan. Not just a Knicks fan, but an obnoxious, loud Knicks fan. So I'm giving you your time on Baltimore radio to gloat over your championship.
We are the champions, baby. We are the champions. I mean, that's 53 years of frustration, man, for me. I mean, I was 2 years old. I was about to turn 3, but I was only 2 years old the last time the Knicks won a championship. So in all those years of being a fan, the obnoxious fan, the rabid fan, whatever you want to call it, man, I was a fan. I was there during the bad years, the Trier years. I was there during the Carmelo years, the Stephon Marbury years, of course, the Patrick Ewing, John Starks years, all the heartache, all the difficulties, all the roads that we had to climb, Michael Jordan stopping us from winning championships, not being able to 2 for 18 for John Starks in Game 7, the NBA championship in 94, 99 strike shortened season, and finally, man, to get this ring. And this year, man, it's just, obviously, you go to my Instagram page.
Oh, I know.
And you enjoy. I cried, Bruce.
I saw you. You posted a video. I wondered if you hurt yourself.
Man, look, I'm 55 years old. I was acting like I was 25 in that moment, and I felt like I was 25. But the joy, man, was magical. And if I would have hurt myself, if I would have torn an ACL, if I would have sprained something, it would have been well worth it.
I want to, at the end of that series, I wanted the Knicks just to say, any questions?
Yeah, I mean, look, they play the best basketball. Like I'm saying, I've been watching them my entire life. And this is the best basketball I have ever seen this team play. And I got to give a shout out to him, to Mike Brown, first of all, starting off, man, but for believing in the team and believing in his bench and having these guys always ready, no matter what. Some series they didn't play. Sometimes during the year they didn't play, but they would come in when he called their number, and they will always be ready to play. And what's great about this run, this run they went on in the NBA Finals or the NBA playoffs, when they won 13 in a row, is that everybody who played seemed to contribute.
That was the key. That was the wondrous thing of it. Yeah.
Yeah, it was great, man. So the fact that it wasn't just a two-man thing with Jalen Brunson and Karl Anthony Towns, obviously OG did his thing, Josh Hart with the rebound in Game 1, and, Mikal Bridges stepping up when he needed to step up. Deuce stepped up in the series against Philadelphia. Alvarado coming in doing what he did to turn Game 4 around. I mean, like, all the magical things that happened in that series and in that run, man, it was incredible, and it's something that I'll always cherish. The
fact that it's spread out as much as it do means you'll cherish it longer. If they were competitive every year or winning championships quite often, you wouldn't feel the same way, And I think the entire country caught on to that. There was a little bit of an underdog to them, even as they were rolling through the playoffs,
Well, I'll tell you this, Bruce. We're New York fans, so we're obnoxious, but we're also greedy. So believe me, this is great. So we waited 53 years. We don't want to wait another 5 years for another one. It's like being a Yankee fan. I'm a Yankee fan too.
I know.
We win all those championships. It's been since 2009 since the Yankees won a championship, and even though they won 7 in my lifetime, I'm ready. Yeah. I can't wait.
So Mike comes into the Fox 45 sports office as in Max Morgan and me are in there, and we're getting to know him. And Mike says Yankee fan. And Max and I just looked at each other. Oh, boy.
Yeah. In Baltimore.
You were okay, though. You were all right.
Yeah.
Did I hear you're doing a little stand-up comedy now?
I am, man. I've been doing stand-up for about 2.5 years. Been fortunate to do the Comedy Store here in L.A. A lot of the local spots out here in L.A. Comedy Store. Been at the Improv, obviously, a couple of times. I've been at the Laugh Factory. A lot of local shows. I've been on. I got my national television debut late last year on Byron Allen's Comics Unleashed, man. So that was big, and so it's been going great. It's a pivot that I don't think a lot of people saw coming because they've seen me on television. They see me silly and acting crazy or whatnot, but they didn't know I had that kind of that muscle. And it's something I had a lot of friends and family members who are comics. And they've always asked me if I thought about doing it, and I finally tried it a couple of years ago, man. I've fallen in love with it, so it's been fun, and it's something that I'm really strongly pursuing now, Bruce.
You're a funny guy. I've always thought you're a funny guy. I remember when you were working in Nashville. I'll give people an example. We went in there. It was a Titans-Ravens game, and we went to your station to feed our video out because you used to have to do that, of course, as you know. And the Spice Girls were real big at that time. And so all three of you guys in the sports office, you were something Spice. And I remember you were Ghetto Spice. I said, yeah, that's my kill.
Yeah. I got to keep it real, too, man. We was Ghetto Spice. It was it's fun times, man. Just the entire career, man. Just the way you have to pivot. You know how it is in this industry, man.
Sure.
It's like, the sports industry that we got into, that you helped me get into, and I've always given you credit because you're my mentor. And I look back over my career, man, and I wouldn't be in a position that I am or have been without you, Bruce. I have to say that time and time again. So anytime you give me a platform to shout out your name, you have a legacy, man. You have a history. You have a foundation. Now you have a tree of just great sportscasters around the country, man, that carry your legacy and your name on, man. So I know you retired from television. I know you're doing your thing on radio, man, but I certainly do appreciate everything you've done for me, because I look back over the landscape and I see a couple of guys that, kind of helped me along the way, certain points here and there, and I always give them a shout out. But once I got to a certain level, they seem to kind of fall off.
Yeah.
You never fell off.
No.
You never fell off. No matter where I went, man. No matter when I went to the national, when I went to ESPN, and you're in Baltimore, you never fell out. You still gave back the way you usually do. And I understand it's a competitive industry, and some people look and say, well, I should be in a certain position, man, but you did your thing, and you're happy doing it. I know you're happy in your retirement, but you always looked out for me, and for that, I'll always be indebted to you, bro.
You've always said that to me, and I love you for saying that, first of all. But secondly, my response to that always is, I should have signed every one of you dudes up to management contract. I could have retired 20 years ago,
Should have, man. You would have made a lot of money, man, because we owe you. We really owe you, Bruce.
Kevin,
we really do.
Kevin Frazier alone. Do you know how much money I could have made just off of him?
Yeah, I know. K. Frazier, he's doing his thing out here still in L.A., man. But even people like him, man, it's like, I looked up to him and still do, and he was a mentor to me as well. He kind of branched off or whatever, but certain people they're still cool with you, but once you start competing with them, you start going after certain jobs, man, they just they kind of fall off a little bit. Once again, you never did.
Yeah, never will either. I can promise you that. It was a good time because, Fox 45 is non-union, so we could, you guys hit that room and we started teaching you how to do stuff, and you could touch stuff, and it really, plus, frankly, and this, I needed the help,
No, but you know what, and that was so great about Fox 45, man, and I always think, I'm a very spiritual person. And I know that, God leads you in certain ways, in certain directions, man. And, I was looking over for internships. I remember going to Jay-Z because of the school I was going. I was in the military at the time. They would let me intern or whatever. And then somebody told me Annette Stenhouse, who was at Jay-Z, told me to call Fox 45. And I remember got on the phone with Max Borgen, and Max told me to come on in because you guys were non-union, came in. And the great thing about that is you didn't just teach us how to be guys who are on air. You taught us everything, man. We learned how to stack a show. We learned how to produce. We learned how to write. We learned how to edit. At night on Sundays, we had like a club of all the interns that got together, man. And 5 or 6 of us, and one of us would run camera, one of us would direct, one of us would roll tape. All that type of stuff, man. So we learned every job there is in that building, man. And it was a blueprint, and it was something that kind of helped us propel us into the status or the livelihood that we enjoy today, man. So for that, man, I'll always enjoy the Roots, and I'll always enjoy you, man, and give praise to you.
Well, we needed the help. Let me repeat that.
No, and we were happy to help.
I know you were. I know that was a great thing, Hey, your first job was in Hagerstown at that NBC affiliate up there. You know, it no longer exists. And
really?
Yeah, it moved down to Washington, and it's now like a local, a regional cable news channel. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but it's no longer in Hagerstown. A lot of great people went through there. I want you to talk about that station for a few minutes.
Man, HAG, man. I remember the day I got out of the military, 2 hours after I discharged from the military, I remember my first sergeant asked me, what are you going to do with your life? And I had no idea. I had sent 75 tapes out, and I got 72 rejections. I got 3 callbacks. 2 of them were telling me how bad my tape was. The one was from this guy named Bob Boingesser in WHAG in Hagerstown, man. And 2 hours after I got discharged from the military, he said, hey, you still want this job? And I'm like, hell yeah. So I went there, man, and it was like I was only there for 8 months. It's crazy how it works in this industry, man. You work so hard to try and get a job. Yeah. And then once you get a job, you start moving around. I was there for 8 months and went from weekend sports caster to the sports director within 4 months. And, man, but they allowed me to be me.
Yeah.
And I keep going back to you because you helped me discover my voice. Now, along the way, I lost my voice a couple of times. I had to call you back for that. You know, you
I remember.
Yeah. And I would be in Dallas where I lost my job, where I got fired because I was trying to be me. I was at ESPN and, you know, they tried to compare me and said I was too much like Stuart Scott when I was just, you know me, you've been knowing me for years, even long before Stuart Scott came along.
You're just you.
I was just being me. But people looked at it as a black guy who's doing, keeping his black voice. And they looked at it as I'm trying to be somebody I'm not. And I'm like, yo, this is just who I am. I don't sound like the typical sportscaster out there. But WHAG, Channel 25, man, they allowed me to be me and allowed me to really just kind of branch out and do everything I wanted to do, man. I did some wild stuff out there. I look back and I'm like, how did I not get fired? But shout out to you. Shout out to Bob Boingesser, the news director, who was also the main anchor there at the time, who allowed me to just freely express myself. And like I said, within 8 months, I was already off to, I went from market 197, which was WHAG, to market 50 in Fresno.
Yep.
And I spent 2 years in Fresno, and then I was in Nashville. Then I was in New York within 4 years, man. So, you know, allowing somebody to actually just be themselves and express themselves. And that's why I tell kids today that's trying to get into this business, when you're allowed to just be you and know that nobody else has your DNA, it's going to shine on some people, and some people are going to recognize that. And
the main thing with you was your personality. You know, you had an outgoing personality, and people like being around you. And I thought to myself, well, why would we want to turn him into, hey, you know, that's not who you are, because you were so good at what. And then you and Guy Rawlings, we used to make a lot of fun because, you know, about trying to sound white. And you remember the line from Beverly Hills Cop? I'm not falling for a banana. I still laugh about that to this day.
Yeah. You know, I'm not gonna fall for the banana. You know, but that's me. Like, let's see, Guy. If you listen to Guy, and Guy, this is the way he was raised that way.
Yeah,
that's his voice. If you hear him off air, that's exactly how he sounds. And nothing against that. You know what I mean? That's articulate. That's awesome. That's wonderful, man. But you know, like you said, I grew up I was born in New York. I was raised in Bessemer, Alabama. And you know, you used to work down in Alabama.
Oh, I know Bessemer. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I had a different voice, man, and so I had to teach myself how to speak, to be honest with you, man, because I had two different accents, and none of them were really conducive to what television was all about. But now if you look at television right now, everybody, when I try to get out of that Bessemer talk, everybody that's in television right now that's great in sports, they sound like they're from Bessemer. Shannon Sharp, Charles Barkley, you know, all these guys have kept their voice. Shaquille O'Neal, because they're being themselves, and that's authentic. And people in America want authenticity these days.
Authenticity, and I was about to say that and finish that sentence for you, but you finished it very, very well. Mike, I appreciate you always being available when I call for you. I love having you on my show because I love to talk about the bond that you and I share and how far back it goes and how damn proud I am of you, you know.
Man, thank you, bro, and I'm proud of you, and I appreciate it. And once again, anytime and anywhere you need me, I'm there for you, my brother.
I hear you, Mike. All right, thanks again, man.
Okay, B.
Talk again soon. Love you.
Love you too, man.
All right, there he goes, Mike Hill. And those are real words, you know. And we had that group of interns that all did so well, and you watch them grow, and it's almost like a parent watching a child grow. And I'm just so proud, you know, that Mike, you know, and Kevin Frazier and guys like that, you know. There were 4 guys at Sports Center at one time who had all been interns for me at the same time. It was an amazing thing to watch happen. And when you hear Mike talk about those days, it kind of brings a tear to my eye. And that part of my life means an awful lot to me. And I love to come on here and share it because I think it's a story that resonates. You know, I mean, Mike's got his own parents, but I definitely have a paternal feeling towards him, and the pride that I feel is very paternal in nature, and I just couldn't be prouder of him. Seriously. Thanks to Mike Hill for joining us. Coming up, we got one more segment to go. Jay and Riderwood called back. We're going to see what he's talking about. Lou and Edgewood is on the line, too. If you want to get in line behind them, do it. 410-583-1057.
This is the Fan, baby. Big Bad Morning Show. Vinny and Haynie. Inside Access. Live on YouTube weekdays 6 till 6. Search Baltimore 1057 The Fan. Subscribe for daily shorts right to your phone and never miss what you missed. The Fan.
They call this one Bill.
Whoa, aliens?
Am I in a spaceship?
Affirmative, Bill.
What's with the laser saw?
Relax. We are cutting our bill in half.
What?
An Xfinity mobile transmission says you can cut your bill in half.
Oh, your mobile bill, not me, Bill.
Xfinity Mobile also says we can try it free for a year. Free.
Yes, with no commitment. Can we put the saw away?
I am reluctant. But we will find another being to bisect.
That's not sci-fi. It's Xfinity Mobile. Xfinity Internet members cut your mobile bill in half. Plus, try Xfinity Mobile free for a year. No commitment. Learn more at xfinitymobile.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Xfinity Internet required. Savings compares one line of Xfinity Mobile Select to comparable plans from T-Mobile, Verizon, and AT&T as of 3/24/26. Taxes, fees, extra. $30 monthly discount limited to new mobile customers only. After 12 months, regular rates apply.
This golf season, get fit for clubs with Baltimore County Golf and start improving your game. Plus, Baltimore County Golf gives you more golf with your golf purchase than other retailers. More range credits to practice with your new clubs. More rounds at Greystone and Woodlands to get out on the course. More money back to Advantage cardholders to spend in the golf shop or on lessons with any of our PGA professionals. Visit BaltimoreGolfing.com/getfit to make an appointment and get more golf for your club purchase this season. Get fit and get more with Baltimore County Golf.
Popeye's $20 family meal is so good to your people and your budget. This Bowl Louisiana feast has, count them, 11 hand-breaded tenders or 9 pieces of our Shatter Crunch signature chicken. Then we're looking at a large side and 4 biscuits. And did I mention it's all for $20? It's time to gather your crew and make them all happy. Order for your whole fam today. Love that chicken from Popeyes. At participating U.S. restaurants, price may vary, tax extra.
Download to see if you qualify. Not all customers will qualify. Transfer fees may apply. No Albert subscription required. Albert is not a bank. Albert Instant Loans are issued by FinWise Bank, member FDIC. Not an actual client. Terms apply.
Kylie, what's wrong? I just got hit with a car repair bill. I'm behind on rent, and I feel like I can never save any money.
Have you tried the Albert app? Albert is your financial assistant, helping you find ways to save and create custom budgets to actually grow your money. Plus, you can get up to $10,000 for big expenses, or advance up to $1,000 fast when you need cash right away.
Albert can get me up to $10,000?
Exactly. Albert spots you in a pinch and helps you grow your money in the long run.
I'm downloading Albert right now.
Download the Albert app and use promo code GO to borrow up to $10,000 for whatever you need. The Albert app helps you budget better and save more money so you reach your financial goals faster. Download the Albert app right now and use promo code GO to borrow up to $10,000. Use code GO to borrow up to $10,000.
Look who has extra pep in their step.
Well, I just finished my to-do list. I went to Giant and got groceries for the week, and I was even able to pick up everything for those barbecues and pool parties we have planned. You know what's even better?
What?
I get money back on the entire trip.
How are you doing that?
By using Upside.
Upside? What's that?
It's a free app where I earn cash back on groceries, gas, and dining out. They even gave me a cashback bonus on my first trip to Giant.
So that extra pep comes from all that cash back. Looks like I need to download Upside.
You really do.
Roll into summer with a full grocery cart and extra cash back. Download Upside and use promo code CHARM04 to earn an extra $10 cash back on your first purchase at Giant. That's promo code CHARM04 for an extra $10 cash back. Remember, use promo code CHARM04.
Offers vary by user and location at participating merchants. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions.
Weekends on The Fan. Here's Bruce Cunningham and Femi Ayanbadejo.
I've got a song, I ain't got no melody. I'm gonna sing it to my friends. I've got a song, I ain't got no melody.
Welcome back. Bruce and Femi show on a Saturday. Want to remind you to stay tuned when I get out of here in just a few minutes. Mike Popovic on from 3 to 6 today. Our thanks again to Mike Hill for being with us. And I'm embarrassed I didn't mention this, but his biography is out. He wrote it in 2020. It's called Open Mic. And he goes into some real interesting areas, including some things at ESPN that would really surprise you. And he said a lot of nice things about me, too, which I really appreciate. But Open Mic is the name of the book, and we're grateful that Mike was with us. I'd like to have him on every week. I swear I would. Jay in Riderwood called earlier. We took the call, and there was nobody there. He called back. Jay, good dedication. It pays off. How you doing?
Hey, Bruce, how you doing? Sorry about that. We got disconnected.
It happens. It happens.
Yes, it does. Great interview with Mike Hill. And he produced some of those commercials for ESPN.
Oh, yeah.
Are outstanding. That's one of my favorite parts.
Well, he was there at a magical time. I mean, SportsCenter was still SportsCenter, and to be inside that, it had to have been fascinating for him.
Yep. And if he was excited about his Knicks, can you imagine what's going to happen if the Orioles ever make it after not being there since 1980?
You know what? They're going to saw us off and let us drift out to sea is what's going to happen if that ever happens.
Yeah, before my comment on the Orioles, you were playing Be My Baby.
Yeah.
There's a magazine called Paste Magazine, Paste.
Okay.
And it's music-oriented. One of these lists came out, about 3 weeks ago. The top 100 songs of the 60s.
Wow.
And not just pop songs on the Billboard 100. We're talking all music.
Sure.
And there was a lot of stuff on there I wasn't familiar with.
Yeah.
Number one, Be My Baby.
There you go. Phil Spector, the whole realm of Phil Spector. It's pretty remarkable stuff. It really is.
Yeah, it's a very interesting list. And someone that's been in the music for a long time, you might want to check it out. Paste Magazine.
I will.
Anyway, the Orioles. Okay, they're not going to get Skugel. They're not going to get a frontline pitcher. They need. There are pitchers now are getting into the fifth, maybe sixth or seventh innings, which is great. So you need a strong bullpen.
Yeah. With
guys like Aiken and some of the others that are out there who, in my opinion, are not doing the job that needs to be done. When you have pitchers going that late, you need a very, very strong bullpen.
Yep.
And that's who they should be looking at during this period. And without doing that, I don't think they stand a.
Here's the thing. They're close in the wild card race, and yeah, they might make the playoffs, maybe. But does anybody think they're a championship caliber team? I don't.
No.
So let's be honest with ourselves, right?
Yeah. So that's all I got.
All right, man. Thanks for calling back, Jay. I appreciate the effort. That's for sure. 410-583-1057. Let's go to Lou in Edgewood. Lou, what's up?
Hey, thanks for taking my call, man.
Sure thing.
I wanted to add a lockout question, and you might be able to answer it.
I'll try.
If we have a lockout in baseball, does it affect the minor league system?
It does not.
Do they also stop playing?
No. Now, the name of the union is the Major League Baseball Players Association, and it does. So this would not cover minor leaguers. However, some minor leaguers are on 40-man rosters. Okay? I don't know how they would be affected, but I think that they wouldn't be locked out. I don't.
Because my question, it just boils down to: are we going to have some kind of baseball?
Yeah, obviously,
there is a lockout. Do we have some kind of baseball to watch?
Look out, Bowie! Here we come, right?
Yeah. And then one more thing before I jump off, I just wanted to ask: as far as Gunnar Henderson goes, I agree with you 100%. He's not worth $500 million. He hasn't proven to be a $500 million player yet.
I'm willing to be convinced, but start convincing me.
Too. I don't want to see the guy go.
No.
I do want to lock him up for a long time, but at the same time,
got to
I don't
perform.
want to mortgage the future.
Yeah, you got to perperform, And he's not performing.
That's all I wanted to ask, man.
All right, Lou, we're on the same page. That means you're smart. 410-583-1057. Jonathan in Essex, what's going on?
What's going on, Bruce? How you doing?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
Well, pretty much the last guy kind of stole my thunder because I just get tired of hearing the people talking about Gunnar Henderson $500 million. Let's stop it. Stop it. The guy's batting .224. He's a .263 career hitter. You mean to tell me you think he deserves the same money as Juan Soto? Really?
No.
Really?
No.
He's not good. No. You know what Gunnar Henderson is? He's Chris Davis. He's the only one. We're the only ones going to be bidding for him. We're going to, and that's what he probably should get, $150 million. Nobody's giving him no $500 million to play. He doesn't do anything. Bobby Witt deserved the money before Gunnar Henderson would.
Yeah.
He's not in Bobby Witt territory. Bobby Witt led the league in steals. He's batted over 300. He's won a batting title. He's won 2 Gold Gloves. Some of that. Which one of those is Gunnar have?
Not a one. Not a one.
All
and
right.
here's the other thing I was going to say. The World Baseball Classic this spring. You remember all the controversy about them leaving him out of the lineup?
Yeah,
Maybe they knew something we didn't know. You know?
And I just say the guys work hard. Even his glove. They questioned his glove year before last. He played outstanding the last half of the year last year, and now he's playing mediocre shortstop again this year.
Yeah.
He makes some wild plays, but he's making the bonehead plays too. But I like the kid. Let him earn something like Adley earned his. Let's go get an honor. But that's not the $500 million.
I got nothing against him. I really don't. I just think, like you said, $500 million is an awful lot for those numbers that he's putting up, you know? Now, as I said to the previous caller, Jonathan, and I'm sure you'll agree with me, I'm willing to be convinced, you know?
He ain't far, and I ain't going to say he's far off. He's far off not being a superstar, but he's not that far off of getting himself back into where he's like, all-star level.
Yeah.
Right now he has 16 home runs. If he was batting 270, 280.
Then we could talk. Yeah.
Nobody's questioning.
And I tell you somebody else I'm starting to get a little impatient with, and that's Jackson Holiday. I'm not seeing a whole lot there.
They baby him too much for a one-on-one. He's always getting hurt. I think he's putting too much muscle mass on his body.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
It could be.
And because he doesn't carry it well. He looks like he doesn't carry it well.
I'm convinced that's what happened to Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods he's got a small frame, and he put too much bulk on that small frame, and it started causing all those injuries. Am I out of line for saying that? I don't think so.
No, you're right on point. I'm with you.
Yeah. All right. Always good to hear from you, Jonathan. Thank you, man.
Always. Thank you, sir.
All right. Now, let's go through all this scheduling stuff one more time. Femi will be back next week, but we won't be on next Saturday. Next Saturday is July the 4th, and that's a company-wide holiday. So Femi and I will be doing our show from noon to 3, the regular time, this coming Friday, not Saturday, this coming Friday. And Mike will be on next, Mike Popovic. I'm pretty sure that he is on Friday also after we are. Yeah, Mike just nodded. So, yeah, that's the way it's going to work. So don't tune in here on next Saturday, looking for us, because we ain't going to be here. It's going to be on Friday. It's going to be interesting being in here on a weekday. It's funny, you come in here on a weekday and there's people here. This place is usually deserted. There's an echo in the hallways, but not during the week. So that's when you will hear me and Femi, or Femi and me, this Friday, noon to 3. And Mike Popovic is getting ready to open his mic in just a few minutes here. He will take you up till 6 o'clock, and then he'll do the same thing on Friday. So that's everything coming up. Femi will be back. And we will be together for the foreseeable future. This was a 2-hour show. And when we signed Femi, they added another hour to it. My joke was, well, you had to pay him, and that extra hour paid him. But 2 hours by yourself and 3 hours by yourself are two completely different things. So I'm going to probably go home and catch a nap. This is a lot more tiring than you realize, and I'm not used to talking by myself for 3 hours. So I want to thank Rich Dubroff, as always, for being with us every week and bringing you the updates on the Orioles. Kevin Ostreicher, don't forget, I'll be on his podcast, Locked On Ravens, on Wednesday, or it'll air on Thursday. And then, of course, my main man, Mr. Mike Hill. Pick up his book, Open Mic. So that's it for me until Friday. Femi will be back. And until then, as I always say, Baltimore, I love you madly, and ain't nothing you can do about it. I'm Bruce. We'll talk again on Friday. Until then, see ya.
If you're thinking about it
every day,
we're talking about it.
That's what I'm talking about.
105.7 The Fan.
This weekend only at Old Navy, get 50% off all activewear for the family. Yep, half off all activewear for the fam. Hurry in this Saturday and Sunday to save big only at Old Navy. Valid 6/27 and 28. Excludes clearance, license, and maternity.